And welcome back to episode 94 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and co-host, Malcolm Philly Special Needs King.
Man.
How about Malcolm about to get fired via text, King?
Hey, if you fire me, send an email just in case because I broke my phone today.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
He said send the email.
Yeah, send
we
an
got
email
Coach
just
Mike in the building.
What's good?
What's happening?
Hold on, Mike.
You know, I'm over my period of mourning. Said my prayers. I've accepted things.
Man.
And the Bills just lost another Super Bowl is how I'm going to remember that game.
Right.
So, fine.
Right. And you know
if anybody thinks that any of the remaining games will play out as well as that one did, they're wrong.
No, it's not. It's not. And
well, that Bengals Chiefs game could be a shootout offensively.
I don't know that the Bengals have enough firepower to keep up with the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I think the Bills are the only team outside of maybe Brady that could have kept up in a shootout with the Chiefs right now.
Well, once again, I always, just to throw my hat in the race, and it's not my hat, of course, but it always depends on what Matt Stafford shows up.
I think that's fair.
Because he has the weapons to be able to do so. I just don't know if he's as good as of the guy to be able to keep up.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's fair. I think what kind of solidified things for me was, I mean, the Bills' defensive line had such a phenomenal end of the season. Like, the Bills' defense in general had such a phenomenal end of the season, and KC neutralized them.
Right.
So
they got to Mahomes, once?
They hurried him a few times. It was just like every time they got close enough, he had an answer for it. He would just step up or get out or.
Yeah.
I just want to
I'm coming from.
I just want to remind you guys that according to, I don't know what week this was, but January 2nd of this year, the Chiefs lost to the Bengals 31-34 in a very close game.
Right, where they were already resting up because they had already locked the playoff spot.
So you're saying they didn't have their starters in the game?
I'm not saying they didn't have their starters. I'm saying
they didn't have the same mentality.
They didn't have the mentality or they weren't emptying the playbook at that point.
Right. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, and I know with Andy Reid. Yeah, I know with Andy Reid, there's going to be things that none of us have seen all season. Probably he's going to break out.
It's one thing. I mean, you got to remember, Andy Reid calls the defense. The mustache calls the offense.
Right. But
the mustache is drawing stuff up right now.
Like on some Ratatouille shit.
Right. But we got to give, but in that game though, Mike, to your point, we still got to give Joe Burrow credit because himself, he was 30 for 39 in that game, 446 pass yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I mean, he's no joke. I'm just saying he's nothing to play with. I mean, I think Mahomes and them will win. Not to jump the gun too early, but I mean, at the same time, the Bengals are a threat. I think to make it this far, we should take them serious, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I agree. And trust me, I've got mixed feelings about that game, and I'm sure we'll get into it more deeply. My heart will be with Cincinnati. My soul will be with Kansas City because I want Kansas City to fucking stomp everybody and for everybody to realize that the Bills-Chiefs game was the Super Bowl. I saw a great meme that was like, we're canceling the rest of the playoffs. We're just going to make the Bills-Chiefs the best-of-7 series and see who comes out on top.
Yeah. I mean, but that goes back to what I said about how I feel about the AFC and the NFC.
But that's where I'm at right now is the AFC is, and this hasn't been the case over probably the last 15 years. Like the AFC was very top-heavy up until very recently. Because it was the Patriots and
Steelers.
Who? The Steelers, maybe? I mean, if you count the last 2 decades, I'll throw the Steelers
Peyton
in there.
Oh, you mean, okay, yeah, you're right.
I'm talking AFC. Who was the top of the AFC? Like right now, yeah, you can say Kansas City's top of the heap.
Right.
Any one of the top 6 teams could have made it.
Mm-hmm.
Even Pittsburgh, who I, was my, if there was going to be an upset, I thought it would be them.
Right.
Mainly because I just didn't think that the Niners had enough to get past the Cowboys. But
shit.
I don't think too many people did.
No,
and then
proving everybody wrong too.
Fans.
Right?
No, the Eagles fans knew too because we talked about it offline. The Cowboys are who they are every single year. They look good on paper and they wet the bed when things count.
Well, I think all that tells you is how truly trash that entire division is.
I mean, yeah, recently, but like
you had two teams make it and they both get knocked out.
Right. But I mean,
at least in the AFC North, you had two teams make it, and one of them's in the AFC title game. On the NFC side of the bracket, and Malcolm, maybe you can look this up while we're talking. When was the last time in an NFC title game you didn't have a 1 or a 2 seed in the title game? Neither one of the top 2 seeds make the NFC title.
You talking about the between
I can Google it.
The Niners and the
Neither one of the. I mean, that was the bottom of the NFC supposedly by ranking.
Well, what year was it?
Who made it?
What year was?
All I'm saying,
it wasn't a number 1 seed,
right? Where there wasn't a 1 or a 2 seed in the NFC.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Where neither of the top 2 teams entering the playoffs made the NFC title game. I'm not saying that they won the NFC title game. I'm saying they weren't
right. That's interesting.
Well, what was that? Well, yeah, no, I don't know.
No, and I'm sure it's not the easiest thing to look up, but just think about it. Think about it if we were talking about, and I know March Madness is different because there's more teams, but if neither a 1 or 2 seed, if no 1 or 2 seeds made it to the Final Four or the Elite 8.
Let me see.
That's fucking unheard of.
I think, yeah, I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's a crazy year for sports. I mean, I think regardless, in sports in general, it's been a wild year.
What are we talking about?
I know just
we
playoffs.
Asked that question, but
contenders and rankings.
I mean, if you'd like me to go back to harping on how you can lose with 13 seconds left when you are up with 13 seconds left.
Right.
All that a prevent defense does is prevent you from winning because that's what they were in when that initial play in that 13 seconds happened. They were in prevent. They didn't bring any fucking pressure. They fucking sat back and they gave up 30 fucking yards on one play. They gave them one play to get into field goal range. On top of that, why the fuck are you kicking the ball deep and not squibbing the ball to start the play clock, to start the clock winding down on the kick?
Right.
You are McDermott, I love you. You've done a great job. That was a stupid fucking choice.
That was sensei versus student, Mike. Now, you weren't here. Was it Saturday, Cliff, when I talked about it? Remember I said it was Andy Reid versus one of his proteges, Sean McDermott. And I knew that Andy Reid would get Sean McDermott put up a good fight in the Bills. I'm not saying, but I knew at the end of the day, my money was going with Andy.
And that's fair. And I think at the end of the day, the Bills offense did enough to win.
Oh, they did, for sure.
The Bills special teams and defense did not.
Yeah.
You have to hold on for 13 fucking seconds.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And you know who to cover.
Right.
Like, you got fuck that. Fuck the pressure, Mike. Fuck the pressure. Like, I'm not sending. Right.
Kelsey,
if there are 11 players on the field, I swear I'm putting 5 on Kelsey and 6 on Hill.
Right.
And just do what you want to do, Mahomes. If you want to cross that line, cross it. But these 2 players here are off limits.
Yep. No, I agree.
I don't get it. Like, it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
That didn't make sense to me. But
and there was that in yeah. I mean, I'm sure we will get into this. But the NFL's overtime rules are the dumbest fucking thing in the world.
That's actually what I wanted to talk about, to be honest. I wanted to wait until there were more people here, but I just thought I thought it was ironic, right, that the exact same thing happened to Mahomes in 2018 when he played Brady. it's good that he's on the winning side of it this time around, you know, because it's almost like a pay your dues situation. Because I guarantee Josh Allen's going to come into every close game a different way now. Like, oh, no, we're not going to let this get determined by a coin toss.
Right. Well, and here's the thing is that I was talking, you know, obviously the Bills Mafia contingent here in Columbus, we had a meeting immediately following the game. We talked about what does Buffalo need to do in the offseason. And the problem is that offensively, you need to make sure you keep the guys you got, because I think we've got the offense to win.
I think so too.
I think maybe you can add it back and maybe you move one or two things around on the offensive line. But if you keep everybody else, I think you're solid. I think that defensively, our secondary solid. We have one good edge rusher. We have one good middle backer. We need to shore up our linebacking core, and we need to shore up the middle of the D line. And that's it. That was the difference in this game.
You would know more than I as far as that goes. I mean, I feel like there were holes in coverage too, though. That may have been situationally.
So let me take something. Let me add one more there. We need to replace one corner in the secondary.
Okay.
We need to replace Jackson. We need to replace Jackson in the secondary. Tre'Davious White is solid. He was a little banged up. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer are probably one of, if not the best safety duo in the league.
Yeah, I like Micah Hyde.
And Tre'Davious White at the other corner is fucking locked down. Jackson got torched all fucking night.
But was it by Hill?
No, it wasn't just Hill.
Okay.
And I mean, honestly, Hill's one big, and he may have had two, but his one that just sticks out where he just broke away from everybody and took it to the house.
That was just pure speed.
It was pure speed, and it was the one fucking time, and I think it was blown coverage. And it wasn't that he got beat. I'm saying the wrong coverage was called.
Mm-hmm.
I think they doubled the wrong guy on that. I think that they were supposed to have been doubling Hill, and somehow the defense got flipped.
I don't care if the defense gets flipped. If you know that Hill's lined up in front of you, you need to be calling somebody over. It doesn't matter if it's a linebacker.
Right.
Motherfucker, get over here. I'm by myself. Right?
5-0.
Right. You're guarding Tyreek Hill. The only person that I would trust in that situation, and I still know that he would get got a few times, is Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Because he's young, he has the legs to keep up, and he makes good coverage decisions.
No, I think the only way you neutralize Tyreek Hill is you fucking have to put him on his ass at the line of scrimmage. You don't let him get off the ball.
Jam him up.
Yeah, you have to.
But
then you have it. I'm saying you jam him up and then you trail with one guy and bracket him with a safety.
Right. No,
I think that's the only way to neutralize him.
I agree with that.
And even then, he's still going to get you once or twice.
I bet he might leave the guy jamming on his face.
I mean, it's possible.
You know, those side steps he does before he comes off the line are vicious.
You're not wrong. I hear you. I'm not going to argue with it.
He's tough. He's just tough all around. But I mean, I do agree with that call defensively.
Who y'all talking about?
We talking about how you covering Tyreek Hill.
Man, I'm glad. Perfect. That's perfect segue because I was going to mention that. So were y'all talking about he threw the peace sign at you guys, Mike? Is that what you guys were talking about? Or you
we were
like
talking
what made
about we were just talking about how you neutralize him.
Yeah,
if you
in
can.
general, that play came up, but that was just pure speed, though. Mike said he thinks that was blown coverage by the defense. Not coverage.
That was a boat race.
You cannot. He was in one-on-one coverage there is why I'm saying it was blown coverage.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They bracketed him most of the rest of the game.
Right.
Which is what you have to.
Yeah, he's tough.
And I still don't, and I know I talked about this like mid-season or maybe it was even preseason. Why the fuck, with all the money that we spend on edge rushers in the NFL, do you not put somebody over the fucking tight end and jam his ass with a defensive lineman at the line? Make him go through a defensive lineman before he gets into his route.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, that is the shit that, like, that just, it completely baffles me. I just don't understand it.
I'm sure you are paying these.
You are paying defensive linemen an outrageous sum of money right now, and all you're asking them to do, and you're incentivizing them by like telling them get their sack numbers or their tackles for loss. And I think that's where our conversation went earlier. Mm-hmm. But scheme wise, you have to put somebody over the tight end. You have to jam the tight end and not let him off the line of scrimmage. How many times Kelsey get off free and just find the soft spot in the zone and sit?
What's up, Michael Brown?
What's happening, peoples?
Nah, shit. How you feeling?
All right.
That COVID.
Mike, how you feeling?
You beat that COVID?
Huh?
You beat that COVID?
I'll go get tested tomorrow.
But you seem like you feeling good.
Yeah, I feel good, man.
I know that's right. That's what's up.
Happy to be upright.
I know that's right. Shit.
Right.
Better than horizontal, they say.
I don't know. I'm usually never mind.
That's only for brief periods of time, my brother. You don't want to stay that way.
36 seconds, I think, is what I said earlier.
Hey, Michael Reggie, I'd like to take time out to say that your Buffalo Bills, they did their thing, though, man, for real.
They did
their thing, for real. You got something to be happy about.
I'm glad that we've already seen the Super Bowl. We can go ahead and end the season there, and we can move on to next year.
Did you hear y'all GM?
That's me. I'm ready for next season.
That's all of us. That ain't just you.
Yeah.
That's everybody.
That's everybody.
Yeah.
But did you see that y'all's GM said that he felt like y'all are in trouble after this win? Like basically saying that he didn't feel like y'all are in a good spot. Like the team as a whole wasn't in a good spot. Like, I thought that was pretty wild. Like,
I missed that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a clickbait article because I didn't really get too far into it. I just looked at it and was like, "What do you mean? Like they're perfect. They're not an old team.
No, they're young as hell. In fact, they talked about that. Like that's what I actually did appreciate that because that was the one time I've watched a Bills game this year where they actually like put some respect on the Bills' name like throughout that entire game, and it was that. These are two of the top teams that you're going to see for the next couple of years because they are both relatively young. I mean, Bills defense has a little bit of aging, but they're replacing the pieces there.
Right.
But there's no reason why, unless it becomes like contract disputes or injuries, why either one of these teams have a big upscale changes that need to be made.
Right.
They don't. They don't. They need some supplemental pieces. And the last thing that I will comment about my team's defense in general, our tackling fucking sucked. Wow. We couldn't tackle anybody to save our lives. There were so many times where they had, and I get Mahomes is elusive, so I'm not even just talking about Mahomes, but I'm talking about like yards after catch where dude didn't wrap up on a tackle, had him dead to rights when he caught the ball, and then he slips and gets another 7 yards.
Oh, yeah, they were bouncing off a lot of shit. Yeah, I did see that. But, and yeah, let me stop and say, let me eat my words, right? Because it was almost like Mahomes heard me. Because I said I like him. I said I like him running, but I don't think he's a dual threat running back or a quarterback. And I still don't really, I still don't think, he is a threat on the run, but he's not going to choose to run. No. It takes a lot to get Mahomes to choose to run, which is why I feel like he's not a dual threat, because a dual threat's going to take off when they see an opening.
Right.
I think Josh Allen an opening, he's gone.
He gone. He gone.
Mahomes is more like a Rodgers, where he'll stick around for a bit just to see if something happens, and he's like, "Are you gonna make me do this to you? Okay, let me."
Yeah. There was only one play that sticks out in my mind where I'm like, "Why isn't Josh running?" And
I think I know what you're talking about.
He was taking a shot downfield. Yeah. And I wasn't mad about it.
But you got to be careful with that, though.
You do, but you also have to understand with him, that's part of the reason I think the city of Buffalo and Bills fans and his team rallies around him, because he ain't fucking scared.
He's not. That's it. But you ain't gotta be scared to get hurt. Reggie Bush was scared.
But you can be hurt. You can be hurt in the pocket.
Right.
The life expectancy ain't long for a quarterback.
It's true.
Listen, nowadays, you got to remember a lot of positions.
You got to remember
Tom Brady didn't play the way Josh Allen plays the game.
That's true. And on top of that, you also have to remember that Josh is a fullback who plays quarterback.
Right.
Right.
Josh is the Tim Tebow. Everybody thought Tim Tebow was going to be.
Could be. Yeah,
Right.
That's exactly right. That's a good call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tim probably shitty. Tim Tebow probably like.
Oh, did you see? Speaking of that, they tried the jump pass. They tried the jump pass.
Did they?
Didn't work. The Bills tried. It wasn't quite the jump pass.
It was Brittany.
Hey, Britt.
What up, Britt?
Rushed the line.
What's up?
Was good.
Nothing much.
We giving Mike his venting time so he can get over the Dodgers.
That
was a great game
for Mike. For Mike, before we.
That was the greatest game I've seen in.
Right.
Yes. Wow. It's been a while.
I mean, the mere
It's
fact that there were like 3 lead changes in the final 2 minutes.
Right.
You seen my text messages, Michael Reggie? You see me?
Yeah,
I kept switching back and forth like a motherfucker.
Kept going back and forth.
I kept going back and
That's
forth like
why
a motherfucker.
Malcolm was almost fired via text. It's fine.
Right.
That was a crazy game, though, man. It was exciting.
It was.
That
Was a good one.
And I will say this. This was a first time for me. Outside of this was the first time I've ever been at my house watching a game where I didn't sit down for the final 2 minutes.
I was standing up too.
I was standing up,
Yeah.
pacing, arms crossed, watching everything. And I will tell you that when we scored and there were still 13 seconds left on the clock, and this has been the one thing that my soon-to-be ex-wife and I could still have fun with is the Bills. I texted her when there was 13 seconds left. I'm like, defense for 13 seconds, dear Lord, please.
Man.
Didn't we call it last week? Or I feel like we.
Well, hold up.
Maybe I mentioned that I thought it was going to be a shootout.
Yeah, what was the pick'ems,
No, we
Cliff?
call shootout. The only ones. First of all, Mount got the win with two wins. He's the only one that got 2 wins last week.
Did you count my ones that I sent in via
YouTube?
chat?
Yeah, no, I put you in there.
All right.
The only one you got was Chiefs.
I feel like we called it.
That's I'm tripping. That's not Chiefs.
49ers?
You didn't get one. You had Titans, Bills, Packers, and Bucks.
That's right.
So I was looking at OG Mike Brown. He got Chiefs. That was his. Brittany's one was Bengals. Les's one was Rams, and then I got the spread on the Bengals game. Mount got the spread on the Chiefs game, and then he got the Bengals as well. That's how he got the last week.
Well done.
Not the spread on the Bengals, but the Bengals win and the spread on the Chiefs.
But we already determined that you won the belt, right? Is that how that worked out?
No, Cliff won. Cliff won, right?
That's what I'm saying. Cliff won the belt.
Oh, yeah.
By default.
I mean, it's amazing the guy who orchestrated.
I was missing for some weeks.
I got all of it in writing, baby. Y'all can go.
Yeah, I
back
missed some
to
weeks
the
too,
book
Cliff.
I believe that you. I mean, I know you won. I'm just saying that I wasn't available for some weeks there, so you got you got to take the lead. But
that's
what I was
really
going
what
to
it
say
came
was,
down to.
I really felt like we called it, even though we didn't go with those picks. We just kind of went with what we thought was going to be the safe picks. I feel like last week when we talked about the Bengals winning, and we all felt strongly about that. Right. And then we talked about the 49ers possibly pulling it off. And we also talked about there being a shootout between the Bills and the Chiefs. So I feel like we were right on point for the most part. Now, I don't think anybody called. Did anybody call that Rams game?
Les was the only one that called that.
Okay, but we were even talking about that with the Bucks being depleted, and it was just like, you know what, we gotta go with Brady because it's Brady. But we talked about that there being a chance that they could lose that game because of all the injuries. So I really felt like I want to give tip my hat to us because I felt like we were kind of on point with what was going on.
No, I agree. I do agree with that. It's a good recast, a good way to recap it all. But yeah, I don't know why we didn't pick those ways.
Because we had to go with the for sure. We would look crazy going against Brady. That's how I felt. Even though you gave some very valid points about the line being gone and stuff like that.
And they still almost came back.
Right.
They did. They were in a similar situation.
In the fourth.
Right. Well, and that was
Maybe
the
rule him
thing.
out.
That was the thing. Like all 4 of the games were pretty solid.
Every game was close. Every game, I think they said that there's never been a playoff where every game that far in was close.
Les called that too. He said, "I'm calling no blowouts."
Yeah.
Les called that.
But you know what my thing was, and it would be controversial, but I would do this. If I were the Bucks, this is just random. If I were the Bucks, when they scored that last touchdown, I would have went for the cheat win and went for 2. I probably would have lost my job if they wouldn't have got it. But at the same time, it was the same result, them losing. I felt like if they were getting their butt kicked all game, their best bet would be to try to get the 2-point conversion instead of the 1-point field goal for the win, as opposed to going a whole nother quarter with the Rams.
So I don't know that you want to go here yet, Cliff, but I would love to use that as a segue to this overtime conversation.
Let's do that.
And here's why. Change the fucking rules. Both teams deserve a possession.
No, they do not.
No, listen to me, Britt. Listen to me for a second. Just listen.
I'm listening. Okay, I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen.
Think of it this way. The decision point and the skill comes in there when you make the decision to either kick it or go for 2. So if you're the team that has the ball first and you score, are you making the decision to kick the easy extra point? Or are you going for 2 to make them work for it? Similarly, if you're the second team to score, there's almost an advantage at that point to be the second team, to be the team that's receiving or to be kicking the ball to start things off. Because if you're the team that scores second, you can end it. You can make the choice to end it and go for it and live or die by your own merits. Like that's my whole thing with overtime is overtime. And the thing is NFL is the only one that does it that way. And it's fucking dumb. Like either it ends immediately on a score and you shouldn't do the whole field goal versus safety thing, or both teams get a possession.
Period. Because my whole thing, what was you about to say?
Didn't it used to be that way where in the NFL where you had a chance, like to y'all's point, if someone scored
college.
No, it was like first score wins. Like if it was a field goal, that was a win. That's what it used to be.
I mean, honestly, what I would like to see is do a reduced time quarter, like make it a half of a quarter, and that's your overtime quarter. It's a 7.5 minute quarter. And if you're a good team and you're running the ball and you can run the clock and you keep the ball for all 7.5 minutes, cool. If you're scoring in 3 seconds, all right, cool. But you got to kick it back off. Like,
right.
My whole thing is just it's actually cheating the fans out of the game being able to just be ruled off of a coin toss. Because I didn't even run it down when we were talking about it. Listen to these stats. Mahomes threw 75% completion, 378 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 123.1 QBR. To a Josh Allen, who throws 73% completion, 329 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 136 QBR. Now, when you have stats like that, you have to understand whoever gets that ball first.
Last. Yeah, exactly. Whoever's the last one to have the ball.
Well, that's right.
So let me say this, though. I'm sorry.
No, you
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, let me say this. This is my thoughts on it. And, okay. So to me, in that particular case, it does not matter how long, if they get a full quarter, if, both teams have possession of the ball. I don't think it matters. I really think it comes down to that last play, the last 10 seconds or whatever it may be, because those teams were just both so dynamic offensively that it really was going to come down to whoever had the ball last. Like, seriously, we already knew that. So I don't think the timing and things like that matter. Now, for everybody else, the reason why I'm against the rule change is because it's about getting the job done, in my opinion. So if you have 4 quarters to get the job done, if you can't win within those 4 quarters,
then it should be decided by luck in a coin toss.
Hold on. Well, the whole point of overtime, in my opinion, is to make it uncomfortable. we're not going to extend the game because you didn't get the job done. The goal is to get the win, to get the job done within regulation time. So my thing is, when you go beyond regulation time, you have to be uncomfortable. That's why I don't agree with each team necessarily just doing like a full quarter and letting it play out. Like, no, you got to get uncomfortable, because if you know that you got another quarter, that's going to change the game. Like, no, you need to end it. And I feel like the team should be playing to end it. So with that being said, I want the overtime to be uncomfortable. I want both teams to be nervous, because if you really, you shouldn't take it there. You should get it done in regulation.
Right.
So I'm against that so-called fairness that people are looking for. Like, no, you got 4 quarters to be fair.
Well, I don't even.
So when you go beyond that,
the problem is where I struggle with that is, okay, fine. What other sport is decided by basically the coin toss?
I mean, but we can't
for
go
overtime.
What other sport? Go by that,
you wouldn't find
because
you wouldn't find
in the other sports,
right?
In
you're not. That's what I'm saying.
When you go to playoffs, hold on, because you can look at basketball in the other sports. When you go to playoffs, you're playing a series of games. So you just have, each sport is going to be different. Each sport has its own little things. Like, you go to hockey, you got the shootout, right, et cetera, et cetera. So my thing is, you can't
be like, oh, well, this down to skill, not luck. That's my problem.
No, it's about strategizing. You still got to strategize within that time, and you got to go with what your team is good at. So if you got a really good defensive team and you don't have an offensive team, then you need to play to your best abilities when you get that coin toss. Like, all right, I'm putting my team on defense, hoping they can get a stop, and then
if you lose the coin toss, it's not like you can put your defense out on offense. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
that's
where it's different, because both of those teams were offensively sound. That's their thing. They were offensively sound. So if you give either or the ball, they're going to score. You could have guaranteed the Bills were going to score. You could guarantee Mahomes is going to score. Now, my whole thing is, if you don't want to change the rule, then at least change the coin toss and make it something competitive between the two teams to determine who gets the ball.
That's where I go.
Hold on, because you guys are playing to those teams' particular strengths. That's when your defense needs to come into play. Because if you give them another quarter to play out fully, and both teams are just scoring, and it comes down to another tie, then again, this is where you're supposed to be uncomfortable. So hold on. Because your teams are offensive minded, this is where you're going to have to figure out how to get a defensive stop. Again, I do not feel like teams should be comfortable in the league or whatever it may be, should have to play to their strengths. But because in most cases, those teams aren't going to be that offensively amazing on both sides. Like, it's just not going to happen. So my thing is, again, this is about being uncomfortable. I don't want you comfortable. It's going to be some luck involved. I feel like my favorite time of the year is March Madness. March Madness is a lot of luck. The best team does not always win.
But see, I think you're getting hung up on the overtime itself, and the issue is the deciding factor as to who is going to have the ball. Because it doesn't matter who's defensive and offensive minded at that point. It matters who makes the right pick of that coin.
Agreed. And there is
no other coin correctly, and that has nothing to do with football at that point. It's just who picks by luck. Is that heads or tails?
Well, and on top of that, there is no other level of football where that's how it's decided.
It is a disservice at the end of the day.
High school and college. Like, here, okay, go this route then.
Go Vince McMahon, XFL, and have them do heads up to see who gets the ball at halftime. At least that way, it's my team against yours to see who gets the go. But just by flipping a coin, it's like, what if the defense was tired and you won the coin toss? So put the. I would almost rather see something more akin to college, where they start, and I'm not saying start on like the 25 heading in.
No,
I think that's ridiculous for the NFL. Start on the opposite 25. Start it like a touchback. You get the ball started at the 25, and you each get a series, or you go back and forth until one of you doesn't score. And if you get past, I mean, in high school the rule is, and in college I think it is too, you get past 3 overtimes, you got to go for 2 on the extra point. Like, give them both a series and start it basically from a touchback spot.
Right.
And if you have to punt, you're done, or you get 4 downs. Period.
I just would like to take the luck of it all out of the game. Fuck luck. This isn't about luck. We want to see who's the better team. Luck should have nothing to do with it.
He doesn't. He's retired. He's retired, Cliff.
You
wow.
stupid.
Wow, yeah, he got jokes.
I appreciated it, Malcolm.
But-
the dad jokes.
You need some special effects, like
Right.
wah.
Right.
That's what Michael Reggie's for. Michael Reggie got
There
it.
we go.
Here you go, Mike.
But I did like the fact, like, and me and Mike talked about this. I think Malk was off when we talked about it. I do like the fact that the very same thing happened to Mahomes with Brady in 2018, and he was finally on the right side of things this time around. I did like to see that. I will be honest, even though it was the opposite of my pick, it was kind of good to see, like, at least he didn't get fucked again like that.
Right. He couldn't afford. They was going to talk mad shit. See, I will say this, Michael Reggie. Josh Allen still has time to have these mishaps.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Mahomes, if he would have lost this,
Listen,
motherfuckers would have.
That goes back to my earlier comment that I was appreciative for the first time all season that announcers put some respect on the Bills during the game.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Was both of these teams are premier teams, and you are going to see them multiple times over the next 4 to 5 years because they're stacked that way.
They were saying they're the next Peyton Brady. Mahomes.
Yeah, I seen that.
We're the next Peyton.
Seen that.
I don't know if I don't know if I disagree with that. That may be the case, but also,
Give my boy Herbert time to sneak up in there.
and that's he's another
Or Burrow.
But these are ones. But I think, and actually, that was the thing is they talked about Burrow from like young quarterbacks in the league right now.
That's true.
The AFC has stacked talent at the quarterback position,
right.
at least through the top 4 or 5 teams.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see some good battles over the next several years, and it will come down to shootouts. And as a defensive guy, that upsets me a little bit, but I'll live with it.
Shit, as a guy that has a team with Derek Carr, that worries the fuck out of me. He is not a shootout quarterback. He's not shooting shit. That motherfucker, the dude in Harlem Nights, he said, "Would you stop shooting that little shit?"
Yeah.
That's him. That's their
Certain
Carr.
teams ain't gonna be in a shootout.
Right,
We
right,
ain't.
stupid.
The Raiders ain't about to be in a shootout.
Man,
The
not now.
Browns ain't either. The Browns ain't either, Brett.
That's why I said certain teams ain't about to be in a shootout.
He just didn't say hers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't gotta worry about that. It's gonna be like a drive-by. They not about to be in a shootout.
Stupid.
Hey, Britt,
They gonna be getting shot
in the draft.
Huh?
Y'all gonna get another quarterback in the draft?
You think so? I heard they was on the prowl for I think they might be looking for a veteran quarterback. Watson,
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Rodgers ain't coming to Cleveland.
He ain't. Fuck
Why
him.
not? You already live in Green Bay. What the fuck?
He would not. He would not.
You might as well shoot yourself in the foot.
You know what? I want him to come to Cleveland because boy, he would blow that shit up, boy. Anything wrong, he gonna put it out there.
Right.
He gonna put it out there.
Especially
and
in
I'm
his
like,
last couple years.
I knew it. I need him. Matter of fact,
right.
he would come to Cleveland because
You
I
right
want to
about
know
that.
what's going on. I want to know what's going on for real.
Cleveland ain't got no wide receivers no more. People's
Yeah, no. Now listen, if it was like the beginning of this year, I think
he could have came.
I wouldn't say that he would go to Cleveland because I don't think anybody really wants to be in Cleveland, but it would be an option as far as weapons and stuff like that. Like I think he would feel good going there like talent wise, but now I don't feel like because they're gonna lose a lot of people too. I don't think he would go there. I don't think so.
No, he wouldn't.
He ain't going.
It'd take a miracle.
I think you see him in
Right.
I think you see him in the 49ers next year.
I mean, he made it
no.
clear he's not going anywhere where he has to build.
So Cliff, you're trying to tell me that Aaron Rodgers is going to pull a Kevin Durant when they lost? Thunder to the Warriors.
Well, Kevin
Durant, I don't consider it that, but
you're saying if you can't, but my eyes, that's one of those. If I can't beat them, I'm gonna join them. Is that what you're saying?
I think you would already join them.
Yeah, I think you would already join them. Yeah, I think that was already a place on his, his destination.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense. Kevin Durant wasn't from no fucking.
That's true.
Where they at? Oakland?
Yeah, where I was trying to think exactly where, but yeah, he's not from there. At least Rodgers.
He from the East Coast. He from DC, ain't he?
That's That's a homecoming game, a homecoming season.
Yeah.
I still don't see. Well, Jimmy G is their guy. I seen a report the other day that said that they're pretty.
What turned them around? Because the whole
him beating the Packers. I don't
think it's official yet. I don't think it's official. I think if he wins this game, I think it's official. I don't think it's official. I think if he wins this game,
I don't think you could say anything except he's our guy.
Right.
Mid-season.
Let's get into it real quick because that's a quick one to get into, right? First of all, let's start that game off. 49ers beat the Packers 13-10. Let me run down your guy, or not your guy, San Francisco's guy, quote unquote, stats. 57.9 completion, 131 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, 57.1 QBR. Now, I will give him P's because there were a lot of drop balls in that game, and I do believe that 1 interception, if I'm not mistaken, bounced off Kittle's hands. It wasn't just a clean interception like he threw it. It bounced off his wide receiver.
Grandpa's old medicine.
Right. Mm-hmm. It bounced off his wide receiver. But with that being said, though,
ain't that many bounces in the world for them stats, though.
Yeah. And Rodgers wasn't too much better.
Yeah, he didn't throw a touchdown, right?
Yeah, he didn't throw
one touchdown.
He didn't throw one.
He didn't throw an interception either. He was
very surprising. It was a weird vibe.
Michael, you got something to say, Michael Brown? You got something to say, Michael Brown? Seeing your hands moving like you're about to do the
No, I was cool. I was just,
Now, this game was the exact opposite of the Chiefs-Bills game. This was a defensive, this was an all-defense game.
Michael Reggie's kind of game, huh, Michael Reggie?
Absolutely. Y'all don't want them to flip a coin either with that?
Oh, Brittany talking shit, Michael.
Listen, no. Can't flip it. Wasn't that what did Vince McMahon do? The heads up? Was it a heads up play?
Michael Brown, you probably know.
I don't remember.
What do you mean in
XFL?
Yeah.
But they didn't do it by a coin toss. They did it by like a specific one.
It was something weird,
like a jump ball almost.
It was kind of weird,
but it was like I think it was like a heads up drill where y'all both laid down, helmet to helmet, like the old drills.
Listen,
and like who
was doing rugby down there.
Right, it was like something like that. But either way, that's what I'm saying. At least that was a skill to determine. Yeah. I don't like a shot in the dark to see who gets the best position to win the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, can we just go ahead and go full circle? And like I said before the game, Aaron Rodgers wets the bed in the playoffs.
You said
playoff record isn't that good. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. Was it 2010 when they beat the Steelers? Was that 2010? That's 12 years ago.
You said that, and I'm gonna give you P's on that for the simple fact that this was the prime opportunity against this team. And I'm not taking anything away from the 49ers defense, right? Because they do have a decent defense for sure.
Right.
But this was the team to showcase why you're there.
Right.
And there was no showcase about his performance.
No, set the example. They did not set the example, set the tone.
He got sacked 5 times in that game. There were a lot of hurries, too. Jimmy G got sacked 4 times. But it really came down to defense. It really came down to the 49ers special teams. They had a block field goal.
They had two.
Well, they had 1 block field goal in the first half, and then they had a block punt in the third quarter that he ran back for a touchdown. That might have been a 4th.
I can't remember when that last one was for the touchdown.
The 3rd or the 4th.
But the first one was right before halftime. That literally would have put them up 10, right? Or because they were up 7.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then that would have put them up 10 at half.
Right.
I believe. So yeah, it really came down to special. I mean, it was special teams
away, the Packers win. If you take those 2 plays away, the Packers win.
Offense wins games. Special teams and defense wins
championships. You are absolutely correct.
I would personally like to have a little bit of both.
I hear you, but
spot.
Right.
But like, that's what it came down to.
You know what?
Games.
But I'm sorry. Who said that Jimmy G was like it's solidified that he's staying?
I said that. I said that.
Okay.
As of
I
right
disagree
now,
with that. I wanted to bring that up. I disagree with that. I think if he wins this game, it's official. But right now, like if they go out, if the 49ers lose this next game, I think he's still out of there.
Jimmy G, even if they win this game, which I highly doubt, but even if
they love Jimmy G,
win this game,
they don't love Jimmy G.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that he doesn't stay. He may stay, but even if he wins, he's not going to give you anything more than 21 plays of 10 and under yard passes.
Yeah.
That's why he has 131 yards at the end of the day. Because
he's with the team to make it work.
He's another person like Carr, where I'm throwing short passes and expecting y'all to do y'all's thing. I'm not showcasing my arm. Y'all do Debo, do your thing.
He got the right He got the right one to do it, boy. Because Debo will catch that ball and go.
That's my guy. He going wherever, out the backfield, out a kick return, out. Give him the ball.
I actually wanted to mention, since we talked about special teams a lot, do y'all feel like there's been a drop in special teams? Like, what I mean is, remember back in the day, the Devin Hesters, D'Angelo Halls. Like, I feel like I used to see highlights all the time of run backs and punt returns. Well, I feel like we don't see them as much.
I think,
they
but
cut down on that because of collisions.
Yeah, they have peeled back on everything.
I agree. But
they moved up the kickoff so that you have more touchbacks. There's less returns on kickoffs. Punts, it has been. I mean, they got rid of the halo rule, but you're not seeing guys that like want to catch the ball and run.
Right.
Like,
I think it's a safety.
It's a safety thing.
I think what it comes down to, honestly, now though, is that teams are more so. Well, organizations. I guess teams, organizations. They're recognizing their assets. Because you think about how many great players came from kick return, punt return. Tyreek Hill was a punt returner.
Right. He will still punt return, and that's what I was going to say too. Like, but I think like with the, I'm sorry, Cliff, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just to wrap up my thought. Those players end up being your most dynamic players on offense. Look at the dude from the Jets. What's his name? Barrios. The Hispanic dude that they brought up, he was a kick returner. They brought him up and he was running in rounds for 60 yards and shit. Now he's their Cooper Kupp receiver on the team.
Right.
So when you have a guy that does do things like that, Malcolm, to your point, we don't want you to continue doing that because of how dangerous that is.
Let's
move you up to make you an asset. So you're not going to see as many big plays made because that's then a risk by me putting my biggest asset back there to do that. That's why I respect San Fran with Debo.
Or if we're going to put our better athletes back there, they're directed to fair catch it. You're putting them back there for
to guarantee, right.
To field the ball.
But a lot of great players come from, Mike Brown, Jacoby Ford.
Yeah.
A kick returner. And then you ended up being one of the fastest players in the league. We found out, and now you're a wide receiver. We just hit you with the streaks.
Right. Isaiah McKenzie's the same way. Dude who stepped in for Cole Beasley a couple of weeks ago and ended up having like 15 receptions for 150 plus yards. Yeah. Like he was our kick returner, punt returner.
For real?
Yeah.
That I didn't know.
Michael Reggie. Who was that wide receiver for you all that broke that record?
Davis.
Gabriel.
Davis. No, he been beastie. He been beastie the last
never heard of him.
Like,
what's the record?
No, you said you never heard of him?
I had never heard of him. Cliff,
Listen,
you probably don't even know who we're talking about because you probably don't even know who.
I just
What's
know
his name?
was Gabriel, but no, I know
Gabriel
what you're
Davis.
talking
Yeah,
about.
I know
Okay.
he's been coming on strong the last half of the season. So probably I would say like the last 5 games, he's been very consistent. He's been a major target. And I'm not bringing down Cole Beasley, but he kind of like started replacing Cole Beasley.
Did a little bit. Beasley's been hurt since the
the record was it most touchdowns in a playoff game? Most
What he had like 4, 5.
Yeah, like 4. Yeah, like 4 of them bad boys, man.
No, that's the thing. Like when just circling back, and I'll leave him alone. When I talk about the fact that the Bills have the right pieces on offense, you've got Dawson Knox, you've got Emmanuel Sanders, you've got Gabriel Davis, you've got Cole Beasley or Isaiah McKenzie. I don't particularly care which one. Oh, and by the way, we still have Stephon Diggs, who's one of the best.
Okay.
Like,
who's the coordinator?
Maybe we need a running back. Maybe. Sean McDermott.
No, they definitely need a. Yeah, y'all definitely need a running back. Even though Singletary did impress me the last 3 games of the season.
Who's the defense? When you talked about your defense struggling, right? Season. I was wondering who's your defensive coordinator.
Who had a decent season?
Singletary.
He's a bum.
He came on at the end of the season.
The last 3 games of the season, he had good numbers. I'm talking about like,
but even
beyond average.
He wasn't awful. He had a pretty good season.
No, he was a bum. He was so much of a bum. No offense to him. He was so much of a bum. They were like putting him in. They were letting some other cats get in there and run a little bit, like Moss and who's the other guy? Mike, you know. It wasn't. It wasn't like set
more
in
so
stone.
from the end of last season. They were putting it up in the air.
Listen, he did not.
You didn't see enough of Moss towards the end of that motherfucker.
No, I said he picked it up towards the end, but listen, my thing is this: if you're gonna be with a team like that, they need a dominant back. They need somebody that
I know what you mean.
That can run. That's gonna get you 100 yards. That's gonna make something happen. That's dynamic.
He's impressive.
Singletary is
me and my dad been talking about him
in that way. He's not dynamic.
Oh, he's not
dynamic.
He runs after the run.
Right. Even on the sideline.
Contact.
Even on the sideline.
So, Malcolm, kind of circling back to your question, it's Leslie Frazier, and he's interviewing for the Giants head coaching job right now.
Right.
Somebody need to go.
That's a death sentence.
Let him go. Somebody
let him go. Let him go.
Hey, I'm all for.
Somebody got to go over there and help him.
I'm all for another black head coach in the NFL, so let him live.
Yes, me too.
Listen,
me too.
I
agree.
I didn't know he was black. I didn't know he was black. Okay.
Yeah, no. I didn't know he was black, but I know somebody with some talent needs to go over there.
Ain't no
He's the coach from Minnesota.
Right, named Leslie. I should have caught on that. Michael Leslie.
I've never met a white guy named Leslie.
Right.
There ain't no white guys.
I don't know that I've met a black guy named Leslie either.
I haven't either.
Yeah,
I had the last 9. Michael Brown.
I know Lisa Leslie. Does she count?
Say what, Malcolm?
Lisa Leslie. Does she
Lisa
count?
Leslie. I know that.
Oh shit.
I said.
What?
Bro, snap.
Oh shit.
Don't mind me. I'm drinking my wine.
Michael Brown. I said Michael. I said you're Michael Brown. I said you're Lisa. Michael Brown. I said you're Lisa. We know you met her in Louisville at that special club you went to.
Oh, okay.
What special club you going to?
Mr. Brown, his kids would be a lot taller.
Oh man,
you love everybody. You love everybody.
Wow. It was the CNC Music Factory. Yeah, that's what it's called. The CNC Music Factory.
That had to be 1990, 91.
Yeah, back there.
Yeah, it was one of those places where they were playing Young Man. Okay.
You woke up in the crying game. You ain't know what was going on.
I was in the wrong club. I went to the wrong
place. Say that. You love everybody. But anyways. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what we were moving on to next. I know Mike had talked about, the Bills and Leslie Frazier, but
yeah, that was it. That was last.
Yeah, just to wrap up that 49ers game, I did want to point out that
Niners.
First Jersey Mike back on talk about his Niners.
Right, honestly, with those.
No, he didn't believe in them.
No, he always listen. He picked them.
He reps them. Yeah, he does. You're right.
He picked them the whole way through. I didn't get his
never
pick
missed
from
a game
last week, but I just want to point out that with those, the block field goal, block punt return for the touchdown, 49ers ranked 21st in the league on special teams, right? So I don't know. I don't know that you see that consistently. I'm not going to say that was a coin toss, but they may need more than that with Jimmy G at quarterback to get through those Rams.
No doubt. And
hold on. Because if we're talking about them beating the Rams, they have not lost to the Rams.
But that's also without Vaughn, without Odell. Like those, I mean, you can.
I don't think it's gonna matter.
A lot of people say that, but those are adequate.
Somebody told me. We were talking about the Rams playing the 49ers, and I need to do my research, and you guys probably know. Somebody told me that I think it was Aaron Donald pissed off Deebo Samuels, and ever since that point, Deebo Samuels has let the Rams have it.
I mean that could be accurate.
Something about they asked Aaron Donald in an interview what he thought of Deebo Samuels, and he said, "Who?" And it was like ever since then, it's just been up. Like that type of
that's a good. I mean, shit like that is motivation. I do too.
Right, but I like that. I like that.
Though that's what people don't understand. At the same time, you got Von Miller and Aaron Donald coming at a Jimmy G. I get a little irky about that. Then we got a Jalen Ramsey for whomever you feel is your best wide receiver out there, and you expect Jimmy G to fit that in that window. That's not happening.
Ain't got enough.
So listen, me personally, I think offensively the 49ers just have so many weapons.
They do.
So my thing is
they do.
Yeah, they do.
Jimmy G is Mr. Bad Decision.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
But I don't think that the game that he had against, I think he feels less pressure against the Rams than he did against the 49ers, and I think you see a better Jimmy G. I honestly do. I think
the Packers.
I'm sorry, my bad. I think he had less pressure against the. I think he's going to have less pressure against the Rams than he did with the Packers. Right. Yeah, I think it was a lot of tension there. So with that being said, I think you're going to see a better Jimmy G, and I really think Deebo is going to get off. But I think somebody else is going to get off, probably Mitchell. I just don't think that I think offensively, the 49ers are just really hard to stop because they have dynamic players in a lot of positions, as opposed to having one or two dynamic players like the Packers just have Devontae Adams. Right. And then that's kind of it.
I think the thing with the Niners, too, is that their style of offense, it's keep away. Like you are trying to keep the ball away from the other teams. Like their defense is aided by how long their offense holds on to the ball.
It has to be. They can't take big chunks.
Right.
Anytime, and I'm not even trying to hate. I'm being actual. Anytime Garoppolo.
Did you say actual?
Right, because I don't want to say factual. I want to say.
Okay, you're being actual. Okay, that's a new one. I like that.
Right,
we're being
cool.
actual. Okay,
like actually what I see, like what I see.
I'm being
every
true.
time, right to my eyes.
Yes,
we got to coin that. You got to trademark that.
He throws over 20 yards. It's one of those bite my fingernail situations. Any pass over 20 yards that Jimmy G throws. It's like, oh shit, what's about to happen? And that's
boy,
why
if he don't have Deebo. Because all Deebo need is 10 yards and he gone. He gonna turn that 10 yards into 40.
You're gonna have to figure out 22 ways on how to innovate a screen pass. Because that's around the passes Jimmy gets out per game, and he's not gonna get you much outside of that.
Yeah, I mean his shit is so deceptive. Like it really is. How they get their yards sometimes. Like even like Deebo, I almost want to put it out there for bets is that Deebo has 200 yards against the Rams. But again, the way in which he will get it is so deceptive because it's not like you see those big, long 50-yard passes. Like he's literally going to get the ball 5 yards out, 10 yards out, and run for 20. Right. So many times that it'll add up to 200 yards in the game. Like it's very deceptive play. But again, I'm going with the 49ers here. I think they're going to do it.
Well, we ain't quite there, but I'm glad you said that. So I'm not going to
I just had to put that out there.
I'm not going to write it. I'm glad you put it out there, right? Because we usually do the once it's written, it don't get taken back. So I'm
taking it back.
A blessing.
Taking it back.
Right now, if we going to move on.
To think about it.
Right.
Let me think about it.
Right. You better think about it.
Let me think. Yeah, no, I'm not changing my mind. I love Debo. I like certain players. I really
it's gonna be Debo against the Monstars.
Well, let's keep
That's gonna be hard to beat.
Let's keep it relative. Let's go that Rams Bucks game.
Wait.
Since the Niners got a.
You mean Rams Niners? You said Rams, but you mean Rams Niners?
No, he's talking about recapping the Rams.
Oh,
because
okay,
we're not quite to picks yet, is what I was saying.
Right.
Because we didn't cover. We got 2 games to cover.
Yeah.
To the picks. But that Rams Bucks game, was anybody?
Are the 49ers gonna beat?
Yeah, hell yeah.
She got
no, but
not the wishing ball.
I'm gonna ask, are the 49ers gonna beat the Rams?
They gonna say ask me next week.
It says it is certain.
Oh shit! You go
okay.
With that. You go with your pick in that 8 ball. You got 2 on your side.
But I bet you would say the same thing if you ask it the other way around too. That 8 ball.
Okay. Man. Are the Rams gonna beat the 49ers?
For the people listening, Brittany is shaking the 8 ball. We're waiting.
No. I'm trying to see if y'all can see it. Hold on. I can't.
What's it say? We trust you.
Oh, hold on, I'm upside down here. I cannot tell what this shit says.
Oh, now she can't read this one. You know what I mean, Michael Red? You can't read this one this time. Shit.
Well.
Okay, it says concentrate and ask again. So I'll ask again later. But go ahead, Chris.
Right. Okay.
No, that's legit what it says. Anybody has an 8 ball.
We'll leave that open. We'll leave your 8 ball.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask again. It says concentrate and ask again. I'm gonna ask again.
Okay.
I don't want to use Malcolm's energy though.
This is what I will say about this game, this Rams Bucks game, and I will. So
did anybody else smile when Tom Brady was bleeding right before the half?
Oh no, we don't hate Tom like you.
I spoke to my grandpa, Pitball Mike. That grandpa.
I was like, that's messed up, bro.
He called me before the game and he said to me, and he wasn't joking. He said, I hope Aaron Donald breaks both of Tom Brady's legs. I hope he hits it one time and he can't get up. He can't get up for the rest.
So the real question:
what Tom Brady do to him?
Listen,
he's
never like Tom Brady. He's never like New England.
So his team?
Good question.
Because is he a fan of a team that Tom Brady just
he's never
displayed?
He's a closet Bills fan.
He's a fan of sports in general, but he's never displayed any. Like I've never seen any
favoritism towards one team.
Oh, you're a this fan.
He's a fan of the sport itself,
right? All sports. I don't know.
My real question coming out of the Rams Bucks game is, what did Giselle decide about Tom Brady playing another year?
Did he say? Now, did he come out and commit?
He couldn't come out. He had to talk to Giselle first because she.
Oh, you know that.
Decisions.
No, hold on. Y'all playing Tom too weak. I don't get whip Tom vibes. I get Tom does what Tom wants to do. Okay.
I ain't saying Tom whip, but
sure Tom does what Tom wants
to do.
I feel like
he's like he's a gentleman, so he'll make it seem like he referred back to his wife, but he ain't asked her shit. I'm playing again, baby.
I mean,
that's one of those. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's not asking her.
While I study
he's
this
consulting.
playbook.
Yeah, he's consulting. Like, hey.
No, he didn't. I'm telling you, Tom's not consulting. Tom's not consulting her about if he playing or not.
Tom might
better
consult the kids first.
listen, man.
How
Tom
you feel
consulted
if Dad
Tom.
plays another
Game.
I know y'all getting older.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
you know what? Tom told him, "Hey, I'm playing again. I'm coming out next year." I don't think he's that type of guy. I don't think he's that type of guy where he needs to consult his wife.
But I think his chances are diminishing.
How old is he?
He's going to be 46.
No, he's 44. 44.
Oh,
45.
45.
Okay.
Okay, he didn't turn
Tom was
45
not the
yet.
problem.
I know if I can still feel it, I know he can.
And he has come out and said that
You and Tom are not the same,
turns
OG.
45. That's his last.
Right.
You and
He
Tom
will
are not
retire.
I can outrun him, man. I can outrun him.
You might be
I will
able-
give him
maybe
that.
be
I
able to
will
do
give
that.
Michael Brown
Tom
that.
ain't never
Might
been
be
able to
able
run
do
though.
that.
Right.
He ain't never
I'll
been
put
able to
on a
run.
40-yard dash against Tom.
Right.
He ain't never been no
But
runner
listen,
now.
he prepares his body daily. That motherfucker
He
eats
does.
avocado ice cream type shit.
Kale
You
smoothies every day.
That's a
Not
different breed.
what
of
you
motherfucker.
drink, Mike?
Beer?
Which is that what you drink, Mike?
No.
Oh no, I was speaking for
Sweet tea.
myself.
No, you drink Modelo's.
Sweet tea.
I hadn't drunk in a
Tom
while.
Brady don't even put sugar in his system. You out here drinking sweet tea, talking
Right.
about you can hang with
He
Tom
looks
Brady.
sweet. Hey, he looks sweet.
Yeah. But I am 55 though. So
Right.
gotta give it up. Gotta
Right.
give it up.
Okay.
Knock on wood.
You
Let
the
me
best
stop.
pony we the best pony we've ever seen in a long time.
Listen,
That's
he
best point. Okay.
Yeah.
just knocked COVID out of there, so shit.
Yeah, sure did.
Still got a good, healthy immune system.
I told you those ponies, they do
Allegedly. That's what I like to say with people
Allegedly.
over 55. Allegedly. He still got a good, healthy immune system.
Man.
No, I'm playing.
Allegedly.
I'm
Allegedly.
playing.
Oh, shit.
Thanks, Brent.
But Stafford. The only reason why I think it's gonna be tough for the Niners, Stafford, and I don't even think this was one of Stafford's best games. But he threw 73.7%, 366 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 121.2 QBR. Only thing that separates him from the Josh Allens and the Patrick Mahomes with that stat line is one more touchdown. And Matt Stafford is good for that one more touchdown. But it also depends on which one we get. But what was you about to say?
Right. How many yards have he done this year, Cliff?
In total, should I
After
have to look that up?
he's up there. Hey, he's up there.
I know
Over
he is.
4,000
I'll have to
yards.
look that up though because
Hold on, I can try to look.
I usually just write individuals down.
I don't know.
But yeah, no.
I feel like
go
You
ahead.
wanna
He's
know
always
Matthew
good for
Stafford?
4,000 yards.
I mean, I tip my hat to him because I know the Bucks defense is probably a top 7, if not top 5 defense, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, I mean, I tip my hat to him for being able to do that, but I just don't, and I could be wrong, and they could end up in the Super Bowl, but I just do not have faith in the Rams. I just don't. And I love OBJ, but I do, Odell Beckham Jr., I'm sorry, but I just don't have faith in them like that.
Well,
I
feel
really
like
don't.
In his locket that he keeps hanging around his neck, that he tucks into his jersey before every time he lines up at the line and asks the ref if he's good. It has it written that this is his redemption year, and at the bottom of it is a little ram to let you know that this is prophecy, that Odell plans to win this Super Bowl. I don't know if it's written.
Who's
It's not
locket?
my locket.
That's Stafford's locket or Odell's locket?
No, that's Odell's locket that he keeps.
Well, I mean, it's a true prophecy. I feel like he definitely has redeemed himself, whether they get to the Super Bowl or not.
And he's got a baby on the way. He's got a baby.
It has
on
a
the
picture
way.
of himself on the other side
Yeah.
of it too.
Now that sounds like Odell.
It's a
But listen,
purple-haired picture of himself, and then on the other side it says, "This is my year." It's written.
Nah,
Ram
it
sign.
definitely is his year. If anything, it's like I said, it's already true. He redeemed himself. If he would have stayed with the Browns, he would have been written off. He would have gotten some type of like contract, or somebody would have picked him up. But boy, they would have played the shit out of him. So I feel like if this is his year, like
Might
he's
be rich
redeemed
for him.
himself when he because he's a free agent next year, right?
Yeah, he only had a 1 year. It was only a 1 year.
Yeah, so when he basically just set himself up to where somebody is going to definitely spend a couple dollars on him. So it is his year. He did it. Like, it's already written in stone now. That Ram and whatever else got written, I don't know if that means the Super Bowl now.
Oh, I don't know if the locket's real or not. I was just saying. Okay. But if it's not, Odell, you better hurry up and get on that locket so it's at least it's written.
Add Super Bowl to your prophecy.
Right there. You know.
Is anybody rooting for the Rams? Does anybody see the Rams?
To answer the question though, Matt Stafford threw for 4,886 yards this season.
Matt Stafford is also 33, so you can't put him in the Josh Allen, Mahomes, Burrow.
Oh, right.
Yeah, well, no. I was just saying. I was just saying based off of
that perspective. I got you.
With the elites.
Mike Brown might be able to outrun
You know what Tom Brady threw for?
I don't know about all that.
What Brady throw for, like 5,000?
Pretty good.
Oh no, not the year. I don't know. I don't know the like I
Brady
said.
threw for over 4,000.
Oh, you're asking me? You're asking me? You're asking
for that game. Brady threw 55.6% completion, 329 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1 fumble.
And also got his first personal foul ever.
He clipped somebody?
He cussed out an official
after he got hit in the mouth.
Yeah, y'all talking about he gonna ask his wife for some direction.
Tom's a competitor. Hey, he threw for 5,316 yards this season. Damn.
Yeah, man. He's the alpha male, despite what anybody sees.
Do anything.
Tom Brady is an alpha male.
Oh no, I think he's an alpha. I do think he's an alpha.
Hell yeah. Hey, Tom Brady.
Hey, Mike, you're Josh Allen. He threw for over 4,000 yards too, if I'm not mistaken.
And he rushed for just about 1,000 too.
Damn.
Yeah, that motherfucker is crazy, man. He averaged 12.3 yards rushing with sacks included.
Yeah. Am I the only person that don't want to see the Bills get a Super Bowl either? Like, I can't be the only one.
I mean, I don't have anything against the Bills, is what I'll say.
Here's the problem, is that misery loves company. So if Cincinnati somehow pulls this shit off and wins the Super Bowl and leaves the no Super Bowl crown club, the Bills have to do it next year.
You know what it is? Like this, I haven't really talked about this in a while, but I have like a weird view sometimes, like a conspiracy view, right? Hush, Mike. I have a conspiracy view, and I really feel like they won't let the Bills win a Super Bowl because Bills fans just are not live enough. They're not live enough.
Did you not see?
Who else's fans? Who else's fans put people through fucking tables? Who else's fans?
Man, I feel like that happens every day in Pittsburgh. I feel like it happens every day in Pittsburgh. Like,
well, you know that wasn't gonna be a Raider. We know
man,
them Browns.
I just think y'all
Browns ain't allowed close to that Capitol. They ain't gonna be a Raiders fan that come.
No, they'll shoot you. Right. They shoot you or stab you.
They saw that red, white, and blue, and they was like, "Wait, is that motherfucker got horns on his head?"
Everybody thinks it was some plot by Trump. No, it was just a Bills Mafia party that got out of hand.
Listen, Mike.
Man, listen, I'm telling you, Mike. You all's fans are not live enough for the NFL to give y'all the green light to win a championship. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't know if I agree.
Hey, get the fuck.
Britt, they've been there like 4 or 5 times, man.
When they win, though.
I mean,
but as much as I talk shit,
that's my conspiracy. Now that's my conspiracy side. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my conspiracy side.
Listen, if they want the Bills
talking like the Rams, you talking like the Rams have fans.
Listen,
LA don't have no fans.
I don't
Nobody
believe in
who
the
lives
Rams.
in fucking Los Angeles has fans.
No.
Even the Lakers.
I don't believe in the Rams. I don't believe in the Rams at all. I believe in the Bills way more than I believe in the Rams at this particular moment. I don't want the Rams. I don't think the Rams have what it takes. I already said that, but I could be wrong. But I'm just saying from my conspiracy side says that they want a much livelier team.
Everybody
outside
of Kansas City in that middle America area was rooting for the Bills in that game. Guaranteed.
Everybody outside of Kansas City?
Everybody outside.
But this is what you got to understand.
Missouri, Kansas,
those
Nebraska,
Chiefs fans,
everybody.
those people in Kansas, all they got is Kansas, and they love that fucking team, and it shows.
All right, I'm going to rewind to the Patriots game. I'm going to rewind to the Bills-Patriots game in Buffalo the week before, where you had shirtless motherfuckers out in 3-degree weather.
Yeah. You're not cute. I'm just saying, like, you know, I just feel like, you know, maybe it could be because you guys are in New York. And I feel like when you get close to that area, even though Buffalo and New York City are not close, I just feel like people start to get confused. They start rooting. I'm a Giants fan. I'm a this fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Jets fan. They get confused.
That's
so
like
y'all
saying,
fan
that's
base
like saying there's a similarity between like Eastern PA and Western PA. Like there are people who are confused about being Eagles fans or Steelers fans. There's no fucking confusion about whether you're an Eagles fan or a Steelers fan.
Hold on, but you gotta also factor in another team.
That's
you're talking about between two teams, so it's kind of like half and half. Factor in another team. You guys got three teams in New York. Three.
Right.
But California has three teams too.
But
that's why they're not fucking winning. That's why. First of
in
all,
New York City between New York and Philly than you are between Western New York and New York City.
But I'm just that's 4 teams. Now you got to factor in. You just brought another team into it.
If anything, geographically, the Steelers-Browns are closer to Buffalo than fucking the Giants, Jets, Eagles.
Like, but Mike, that just plays into my point of I just feel like the area has a very confused fan base.
I think there's some confused.
There's some. Listen, it's too many. They have too many options. But like if you know, Buffalo and Cleveland are not too far from each other, so you really have. And then if you consider yourself in the state of New York, you might go ahead and root for the Jets. You might root for the Giants. Like, and then like you said, you're not too far away from Philadelphia, and then you also have I forgot what other team I was getting ready to say, but anyway, it's a lot of options.
You might as well throw in Chicago.
Right, throw in Cincinnati and Chicago,
and Illinois.
No, it's not. No, like you're
Illinois.
No, listen.
Cincinnati is.
I'm talking about being able to drive to the place within.
Cincinnati is geographically closer to Buffalo than New York City is. It takes you more time to drive from Buffalo to New York City than it would to take from Buffalo down to Cincinnati.
But think about it like this: you can say, okay, Cleveland and Cincinnati are on the opposite ends of Ohio, but if you're in Ohio, you still recognize the certain teams in Ohio to choose from,
and you root for the Steelers.
No. But I'm just saying, like for me, I can root for Cleveland or I can root for Cincinnati. Like they're both equally about as far away. So my thing is, when you're in the same state, you can choose from the teams in your state, and then you can also choose from the teams that are in your surrounding area as well, distance wise. I'm just saying it's a lot of you got a lot of options in Buffalo. That's all I'm saying.
So Cincinnati can choose from Cincinnati, Cleveland, Chicago, Pittsburgh. Like by the geographic area.
No.
I'm going to exactly what you said.
That's not the same. That's not the same.
Geographic area. They could root for Cleveland, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
A 2 hour. Hold on, no. A 2 hour span. That's what I'm talking about. A 2 hour span. Cleveland
Buffalo and New York are not in that category. Buffalo to New York City is like a 12-hour drive.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. You got within your state. You can root for any team within your state, right? That's one option. And then you can root for any team within the two hour radius. That's what I'm saying. When you're in Buffalo
as a whole.
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, so what
I'm saying is you have a lot of options as far as what team you want to root for. That's all I'm saying.
No, she's saying you can like Cincinnati.
I'm done with this argument.
No, that would be Cleveland.
Indianapolis.
No, what I'm saying is, okay, if I'm
teams.
in Dayton, Ohio, I can root for Cincinnati. I can root for Indianapolis. These teams are close by. I'm saying when you're in Buffalo.
Well, my team ain't nowhere by me. Shit.
Neither.
Well, we don't know how you got there. We don't know how you guys got there. But that's fine. But I'm just saying, when you are deciding to root for a team, you factor in certain things. That's all I'm saying.
I chose mine on my own. I went against the black and gold.
I inherited the Raiders.
Like
I had to make a choice.
Western.
I had to make a choice on who I wanted to root for. That's all I'm saying.
I did. I root for the Raiders on my own. You know what he said? What did they call that? Cognition,
volition,
whatever that is.
Hold on, but Cliff,
definition.
if you didn't, okay, if you had to pick a team, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't kind of like inherit the Raiders, you would probably go for a team close to where you live, right?
No, me and Malcolm had this conversation before. Before I liked the Raiders, I wouldn't say I was a fan of, but I definitely liked the Green Bay Packers.
It was a cheesehead.
I like the
been
Packers.
Straight up,
I've been
a straight up Oakland fan.
I liked Favre and all that. Like, it was just something about Brett Favre that enticed me. There were people that drew me in, right? Barry Sanders, Brett Favre. Brett Favre was just the grittier version to me of Steve Young. He would do more than Steve was willing to do, but he wasn't quite as accurate. But I'll take more risks. It kind of sucked me into him. Like, I like your style.
Which I understand. Let me ask you this though. Would you agree that most people base their love for that they pick their team based off of their location?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's how I did basketball
experience.
wise. I did that basketball wise, just not football.
A lot of times it's your social circle and your influence there. And
I like West Coast everything.
And then it depends on whether or not
you implied you guys got a fucking plaid button up on.
Don't he?
Button down, yeah.
Right. Listen, today look like an Adidas
what you call it,
jumpsuit.
Malcolm?
Either way,
that was Cliff.
West Coast, California love.
Love it.
He said a plaid button up, Brett.
Lakers. I like that Lakers shirt, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Kobe Bryant background.
I know.
The GOAT.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Well, I don't know if I would say the GOAT.
One time, no, that's the GOAT. One time for the one time you said it correctly.
Who's the GOAT?
You said it
I
correctly.
don't know, but
what do you mean he's the GOAT?
For his time, he could have been. For his time, he's a GOAT.
But a GOAT is the greatest of all time. So
greatest of all time. Kobe.
He's
Kobe
a GOAT.
Bean Bryant.
He's a GOAT.
Oh, he's
not
a GOAT for sure. He's
not
my
the
GOAT. My generation. He's the GOAT of my generation. I'm a '90s baby, so I'm just.
That's fair.
My generation.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
You got to take the T off then. Take the O off too. Right?
Are we doing pick'ems?
Yeah. Let's get to that.
He said, "Take the hold on. This will turn into
the time of all time. So you can't say of my generation he's the GOAT. You have to take the O and the T off.
Okay, well,
because the T is for time, meaning of all of it. Right.
So the A is for all.
I'm biased.
All,
I'm biased.
Oh, so he's just a great then. So he's down to the G.
I'd agree with that. Kobe was a G. All right.
We know Kobe was a G.
Jelly bean.
But R.I.P. That you were supposed to have your background changed.
I know. I was
background blowing it.
Man, Hollywood though.
Yeah, we can get to the pick'ems. Oh yeah, other than that Bengals Titans game, I just wanted to point out how they shut the fuck Derrick Henry down.
Oh yeah. I mean
they were shutting.
Well, hold
down.
on now.
They were shutting.
Should he even have been playing?
I don't know.
Not really.
It's not up to me to decide. It's only up to my eyes. I'm not speaking what's factual. I'm speaking what's actual. Right? And I actually saw that they were shutting his ass down. But
not even in the box score.
Who? Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
He was there. But who was it? Who's their other other running back?
Dante Foreman.
Yeah, number 7.
Oh, that's why, because he had 4 carries for 66 yards and Derrick Henry had 20 for 62.
Right. Right.
So he was averaging like 3 yards a carry.
3 point
3.1.
Yep, 3.1.
Which should be enough to get you close to a first down every time.
We talked about him last week. I was saying he was a beast, but I feel like they rushed Henry back for the sake of like having him there when they really probably should have just let the foreman.
I don't know though, because they cleared him the week before
at the last minute.
They cleared him the week before, but remember we had that conversation last week where they said they wasn't clearing him until they could see that he could take impact in practice.
He didn't get cleared until the last minute. We went on air on Wednesday. I don't think he got cleared until like Friday.
Yeah, I think he listed as questionable.
It was very last minute. And to me, I just feel like that was like, I don't think that was the deciding factor per se, but no. I do feel like that was a recipe for a disaster in the sense of like, this guy is not 100. If I bring Derrick Henry back, I want him to be close to 100. I want him to be ready to go. I want him to be a factor. I think he just still needed time to really be a factor, like in his normal case.
And I'm with you, Britt. I think that my question at that point is, if he wasn't 100%, why are you giving him the ball 20 times?
That's right. What I'm getting at.
Use him as a decoy and fucking run play action off of him, fine. But like, why are you giving him the ball 20 times if he's not 100%? Or you don't feel?
But let's be honest. Let's be honest though. At the same time, being injured and coming back into a regular season game, completely different
than the playoffs. Yeah,
playoffs. You have to understand you were a target before they entered the playoffs, so you're still a target now, whether you're hurt or not, my G. So they're gonna hit you regardless of if you came back at 85 or 100%.
Speaking of getting hit, how the fuck does Joe Burrow take 9 sacks and still win that game?
Damn, 9 sacks.
But he's been getting sacked all season though.
Ooh, that line was scary.
He's leading getting sacked.
I thought
he's a beast, man. Joe Burrow is it. I don't care what anybody says.
It's either him and Tannehill. I thought it was the other way around. I thought Tannehill was the one who got sacked.
I thought it was
Joe Burrow was getting.
Yeah, I think he got the most sacks, man.
It might be, and then Tannehill might be second up.
Right.
Because Tannehill got sacked 51 times this season.
Oh, you mean for the season? Okay, I thought we were talking about last game.
No, not that game.
I mean, he might have the lead for the season, but I thought we were just talking about the last.
No,
I
he
thought
got
the
it for the
stat
season,
was Tannehill got it for the season, and then Burrows was second, or it may be vice versa.
Jets.
It was vice versa.
It may be vice versa.
How is it not Zach Wilson from the Jets?
Well, Zach Wilson is a lab rat. I don't mean it like that. I meant like a. I didn't mean a lab rat. I mean like a field mouse. Like he's not.
That's getting worse.
I know, right?
Right.
He's not staying in one spot though. He's out of there quick.
All I'm saying is the Bills sacked him 9 times in one game. So like I was assuming that wasn't like out of the norm for the Jets.
Look at this shameless plug for the Bills that Mike just tried to throw in there.
Zach Wilson scrambling up out of that danger, and then he's throwing a pick. Pow. That's what's happening with Zach.
That's true.
I can't even say that because he didn't throw hella picks this season. I think he ended it with 12.
That's not awful for a rookie.
Yeah.
Kind of thrown into
especially
the fire.
in the at the Jets. That's not bad at all.
How many yards did he get this year, Cliff? Do you know? Over 3,000?
I can look it up.
Who, Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll look it up. I'll try to see if I can look it up too.
But
I'm just kind of curious.
Any other comments on the Bengals Titans?
That's what I was just looking at.
I mean, I want to comment on my team.
Go for it. Let me interrupt.
Honestly, okay. This is the honest truth. Before I even switched over to the Bengals, I felt like Joe Burrow.
No sense.
I mean, is your leg okay, Brett? Is your leg okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah. So anyway, before I went over to the other team, I definitely recognize that Joe Burrow had something special. In my opinion, I felt like based off of, even before he got drafted, I'm like, that's the guy we want. You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking from a fan perspective. Like, that's the guy that I would want in Cleveland.
For 3 weeks that she's been a fan. All right, go ahead.
No. I'm talking about before I became a fan. I recognize that he had something special. You can go back and look at my social media. I mean, most of my cousins are Bengals fans. So, you know, I talk shit, but I'm like, listen, y'all got something special
23
in Joe Burrow.
23, 34?
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah.
The guy just has it, man. He just has it. He really does. He just has. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes like when it's all said and done, he's like up there with the Bradys and he's up there with the
I can see that.
Aaron Rodgers. I would not be surprised at all.
I can definitely see that.
And I think it's only up from here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see him being a guy that, like, let's say the Bengals get put out next round. Like, I don't see him being a guy being satisfied with that. To me, there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that might be satisfied with a slight playoff run, et cetera, et cetera. I don't see him being satisfied with that. I see him at some point soon reaching the ultimate goal of getting a Super Bowl or two. And if once he gets one, I think it's going to be crazy.
You're putting a lot of faith in the Bengals organization.
No, it's not the Bengals. I want to be very clear. No, it's not the Bengals I'm putting faith in. I think Joe Burrow
doesn't matter.
Is amazing.
I
think he's amazing. No, you're right about that. But to me, I feel like he is an amazing player that will make something. I think Aaron Rodgers is an amazing player that will make something happen.
I've been disagreeing with Britt also. I'm with her on that one. And the one thing that solidifies me being with her is the fact that they trusted Joe Burrow when they took that Jamar Chase pick.
Hell yeah.
They don't let a lot of quarterbacks do that when they know that's not the best move to make, when we know the line isn't the best. And look at it. You're the most sacked or second most. Either way, it's still bad. But look where the man's at. He's still live in this shit. Because you trusted him. And he said, no, get my nigga here. I need my nigga here. You do that.
He might have said that too. No one joke.
He might have. Listen.
Yeah.
Coach.
Did you hear what he said about,
I need my nigga.
Did you hear what he said about Ohio State being the reason he's where he's at right now?
What'd he say?
I believe it too.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Ohio State don't know. They don't know what the fuck they doing.
I ain't even gonna study. I ain't read all the way through the article because I was upset about it myself. Malk knows that I always thought Joe Burrow was the guy that should have been playing.
The one that got away.
I was like, why are you not playing Joe? Like, that just pissed me off. Like,
yeah, but same time, like, even if he said it, that doesn't make it true. He's playing to his fucking fan base.
Oh, you know it's true. You know it's true. It would be true if it was me.
Wait, what did he say exactly?
I'm saying Joe was a badass in college, and he's a badass in the pros.
Right,
and,
right.
And then a whole bunch of years in between that.
But it's levels to that, and we can use Baker as an example. I never seen the specialness in Baker in college. Like, I watched footage, I just never was impressed. Never.
Me either.
And I feel like gripping the bench. Yes, you form animosity, regardless if you love the people you play for. And you give me the opportunity to show them what I'm worth. Hell yeah, that's the reason why I'm on my way to the fucking Super Bowl. I hated the fact that I was gripping that bench. I wanted to prove all of them there in that scarlet and gray that I was good enough. Y'all didn't give me the opportunity to.
Right, yeah, that's hometown.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm upset.
Being a thing in college, but I mean, he's still great.
That's the same thing that motivated Andrew Wiggins to get the largest contract in the NBA back in 2019, and then fell off since then.
Don't know if he deserved that, but listen, yeah, I mean,
what were you about to? You lost.
You guys still haven't said what the quote is, though. Like, I don't know what did he say
right,
exactly?
That's where
I didn't read all the way through it. I just read the first paragraph of the article. I tried to get to the point. You know the
clickbait. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I know how I go. They be clickbaiting us. you read the whole article and don't never get to the point of what they said in the title. Like,
man,
oh,
I
he said he
guarantee that's how he feels. Why wouldn't it be?
I think at this point he's not even. I mean, again, I would have to see what the quote was, but I think at this point it's not even about Ohio State. Like, I don't think he's still being fueled by Ohio State. I feel like he proved them wrong in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't think that his motivation now. I think he's just a winner for real, man. Some people are just winners, and I think he's just one of them. Like, dude is just a winner, and he's just showing like he's a winner.
Why can't I be both? Why can't I be a winner and be petty?
I don't. I'm saying, like, me personally, I mean, it could be true. Somebody can be that petty, but I just feel like, your pettiness has to be relative. Like, I don't think he's still thinking about college at this point. 2 years into the NFL.
But could that still not be fuel?
And I'm in the maybe. I don't.
At least knowing that you're in that. Listen, I know what that situation is like, and I've been through it on a collegiate level. So going into the league, I know I don't want to ever experience that feeling again. That could be the motivation beyond me specifically thinking about Ohio State, the Ohio State itself. I'm thinking about how it felt working there. That still makes you gotta look at it true.
I look at it in the sense of like what he did his senior year of college when he left Ohio State. So it's like, to me, he got his redemption then. Like,
it
look at where I am now. It depends on how
much redemption you want. See, that's the thing. People think that if you wrong somebody, you just supposed to get lashed on the arm. It depends on who you wronged and how much they feel wrong about that. Jordan was at his Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
Jordan was at his Hall of Fame speech like, my high school coach was you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey man, Jordan is a different breed. Most people don't. I mean, Joe Burrow could be that type of breed. I do think he is that type of excellent, but Jordan is really, really a different breed. His level of competitiveness and the way in which he just like internalized a lot of stuff. I don't think most people are doing that, but I mean, it is possible. If Joe got Jordan mentality, then he's going to be Jordan on the football field. So I'm cool with that.
For a sophomore like Joe Burrow to get Cincinnati all the way to where they at now, after, Mike, you've already made it a point to talk about their organization, and we know about it.
What's wrong with our organization, Mike? What's wrong? What's wrong with our organization?
Yeah, watch out, Brent. Your leg hurt.
Listen,
I'm telling you, that bandwagon jumping. You done did something.
Listen, I'm done jumping. I already jumped.
You already on there,
what I'm
huh?
saying? I already leaped. I'm good. My leg's good now. I already took my leap. I already made it official, and I'm making it official right here too. Okay. I want to go on record about my me switching teams.
Okay.
I was originally a Browns fan. I have switched over to the Bengals, and there will be two things that will make me stay a Bengals fan.
What's that?
If they win a Super Bowl,
they win. Like,
yep.
That is the definition of a fucking bandwagoner. Like,
I'm not.
Oh, she's compound. It's a compound victory.
I'm not denying that I have switched over. Now listen, if they win, I will remain a Bengals fan. If they win a Super Bowl, I should say, I will remain a Bengals fan for a very long time.
Okay, what make you leave?
Hold on, let me finish. I cannot go back to being a Browns fan until Baker is no longer our starting quarterback. I cannot do it. I can't do it. And let me say something else.
I feel that way about Carr, but I
cannot listen. What the way I look at my sports relationships is the same way I look at a normal relationship in my life as far as the toxicity, right?
Yes.
So why do you guys want me to go back to a toxic relationship?
Right. We get it. We got it.
I just need you to realize that the Bengals are also a toxic relationship. Just because things are good right now doesn't mean they're going to be good a year from now.
Listen, when I leave this honeymoon period,
right,
it starts to get toxic. I start to see them acting like the Browns. I might leave. But right now, we're good. Let me enjoy my newfound love. Like, please.
You're all right with me, man.
You're
cool with
baby.
me, man. Whew.
I'm just saying, I feel like, I was telling my boyfriend this the other day, like, because he's a Packers fan, and I was like,
and go with the hottest guy you can find.
No. It's good. It's good over here, baby. But what I was saying was, we were talking about our teams, and he's a Packers fan, and we know based off of the things that have been said, Aaron Rodgers is getting ready to leave, and I'm like, babe, like I don't feel like people should be stuck on a certain team out of loyalty. If you see that this team is not making decisions to win, and I just feel like the Browns do not make decisions to win. Like, are you trying to win a Super Bowl?
Give the Bengals a year; they'll make you feel the same way.
And maybe it's true. And I might have to up and leave. I might have to up and leave them. I might have to up and leave them. But my thing is, you see teams that I feel like you should, as a team, you should have ups and downs. Like, you should have ups and downs of winning and losing. Like, there should be years where you rebuild, and as you rebuild, you start to see those pieces come together, and then you have your great moments, and then it might fall off as those people get older, et cetera, et cetera. So my thing is, if you are with a team that never has those up moments, or the highlight of their up moment is being slightly over 500, then you need to go to another team. That's just my thing.
I just want to call out that there's a 1 game difference between the Browns last year and where the Bengals are this year. That's all I'm going to say. Like, it's no different. It's not. And just like the Browns lost to the Chiefs last year, you're going to see the Bengals lose to the Chiefs this year, and you're going to be in the same fucking boat.
Woo!
And again, I will make my decision then. I'm not sticking with anything that I don't feel is progressive. I'm not going to stick with anything that's not moving. So to me, the Bengals.
What you want, Johnny?
Time out. Skirt. Now it's making sense to me. You threw in that whole argument, well, not even argument, but that whole thing about the locational area that you can be a fan
justify
of.
Her fucking choice.
Just now feel
smart girl.
I like that.
That's a smart woman. Yep.
No. Listen. Okay, listen. Hold on. If you don't, okay, listen. Hold on. Let me go back, because a lot of you guys have ties, right, to a team. Like, maybe your dad, like Cliff, your dad likes the Raiders, right? So you kind of got introduced to the Raiders through your dad. So me personally, my dad, my stepdad that I grew up with, he didn't have a favorite NFL team.
Right.
So I had to make a choice, right? I'm already Ohio State fan. Like, I'm loyal to the area that I'm in. And most people, based off of the people in the stands, make the same decision as I'm going with the team that is home, so to speak. So with that being said, what you consider home, or, what I'm saying, like, that's relative to a certain radius. That's the only reason I brought that up. That's going to be relative to a certain radius. So to me, I can go with teams in Ohio. That's one way I could do it. Or I can go with teams within a certain radius of where I am. You know what I'm saying? I can start, like, there's a lot of Pittsburgh.
With the Lions.
No, I didn't go with the Lions, but I'm saying there's a lot of teams that I can consider now. If we go by area, one way is to go by state, the teams in your state. That's all I'm saying. That's one way. And then the other way is to go by radius. So I could go with the teams in my state. Plus, I can factor in Pittsburgh. I can factor in a little bit of the Colts. Yeah. I can factor in Detroit. So to me, these are teams that I could all choose from. These are all teams that I would be willing to choose from if that's what I was basing it off of. That's all I'm saying. Listen,
I'm not mad at you.
I like to stick. I'm very loyal to the state of Ohio first. So even with me being a Browns fan, like me rooting for the Browns, if the Bengals were playing, I still root for the Bengals, as long as they weren't playing the Browns.
Right. I understand what you're saying.
I'm all screwed up then because I'm way out on the West Coast somewhere.
Yeah, we knew that long time ago. When you went to that
Pacific
all
Standard
male
right
brothel
here.
back in the day, we already knew what it
Oh,
was.
they playing.
He want to pass out. Look at.
Yeah,
He just
when he woke up in the
chill.
crying game in 1991, we knew it was some confusion.
Britt, chill. He just got over COVID. He's still recovering. He about to pass out. Leave that man alone.
Y'all stupid.
That's all right,
Let's get to
Britt.
these
That's
picks. Let's get to these picks. We only got 2.
cool. Okay.
If we got time, I want to touch on Sean Payton, and we out of here.
Yeah.
Ain't that what
Bengals
Martin said?
Chiefs. That's ham.
Bengals.
You going Bengals?
I'm a Bengal.
Okay.
And we already beat, and let's factor in, we already beat the Chiefs.
Okay.
So we know it can be done.
Put it the Bills. Just saying.
Okay.
We not Billish. We not Billish.
Chiefs by 14.
I feel like that was a hater. I feel like that wasn't from your heart, Mike. I feel like that was just like out of spite.
Yeah.
I feel like that was out of spite.
I almost went 15. I backed it off a little.
Up a point.
See, I feel like that's one of those things where it's like if your team goes out, at least you can say, "Oh, we lost to the Super Bowl champs."
I've said that all episode.
Yeah, that's what he's.
Oh, you did? Okay, I wasn't on
The
yet
Super
when you
Bowl
were saying
already
that.
happened. You guys are just playing for the consolation game.
How much you
So
got
who
the
do you
Bengals?
wait?
by?
So who do you got in there? The Super Bowl?
Now? My picks
Yeah.
were trash. Like
No, not now. I'm saying no. I mean now, not previously. Like, so you got the Chiefs and who?
well, we'll talk about that when we get to that pick.
Oh, here you go. You got secrets now. Okay.
All right.
Trying to follow the format of the show.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Bengals by 7.
7.
I'm going Chiefs by 6.
Monk said Chiefs 6. I'm going Chiefs 10.
Let me go Chiefs 13.
Chiefs said 10. All right. 49ers Rams.
49ers 14.
Okay. Out the gates with it.
49ers 10.
49ers 10.
On Rams by 7.
I'm going Rams 14.
Rams by 10. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in the same year.
Shit.
Mark said Rams 7. Mike said Rams 10. I said Rams 14. Just had to make sure.
And officiating plays a factor.
Definitely.
Because they want Rams Chiefs in the Super Bowl because they're expecting a 100% game across the team.
Oh, are you calling that? You're calling that there's some bad calls in that game?
I'm calling that there are some bad calls in that.
Okay. Coach Mike, let me put you down for that.
You want to get into conspiracy theories?
Oh, shoot. What was it?
Listen, right.
Will the Rams beat the 49ers this weekend?
Right.
Says better not tell you now. Let me ask again.
They ain't trying to tell us.
They don't want to, when it comes to when I switched it around, let me see. Will the Rams beat the 49ers this weekend? Says, as I see it, yes. I don't know who's going to win.
Right. Okay. Don't put. Okay. Well, I guess we about at time. I kind of wanted to ask about the Sean Payton situation. What y'all think of that?
He knew there was nothing to look
Yeah,
forward to anytime
there's
soon.
nothing left to look forward to.
Not anytime soon.
I think that was their way of respectfully letting him go.
No, he dodged a rebuild.
Like, we don't want to fire you, so can we just
can't fire him because he's a Hall of Fame coach at the end of the day.
Right. He says
like, can we just respectfully? I said.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Brett here. I think that he was given the option and he's taking the graceful way out and retiring.
Like, do you want to retire since you've been with the company for 50 years, or do you want us to fire you? Like, that's one of the, like, that's how I see it. And I think it was just like out of respect for him, like, we're going to give you the option to retire, so to speak. So he just like, I'm a bow out.
See, I think it's I'm not like a captain not going down with the ship situation. Like, I think they fucked themselves up. Like the
Saints. He don't want to rebuild. Yeah, he doesn't want to Yeah, they did. And he doesn't want to rebuild with them.
They're $74 million over the cap.
They have 5 quarterbacks on the roster.
Well, they got to get rid of a lot of players, and there's some big names on that list.
Michael Thomas.
Tannehill's on that list. Alvin Kamara's on that list.
Yeah, Kamara.
It's a lot of big names on that list.
You talking about Taysom Hill? You talking about Taysom Hill?
Right. I always say Tannehill.
Yeah. I don't know much about the.
Yeah, they got to get rid of a lot of people to get under that cap. The next person under them is 34 million less than what they're under the cap.
Well, and on top of that, I think that when you're looking at when you have to do something that drastic and you've only got 2 or 3 years left on someone's contract, you might as well bring in whoever the next gen coach is.
That is a very
which is why I'm with Britt. Like, it was either name your successor and have a coach in waiting, or step away now.
That's smart. I didn't think of it like that. That is smart. I definitely didn't think of it from that perspective. Because you're right. There is no point.
Yeah, unless
you're not even gonna coach the team the same. You can't coach the team the same when you lose all those players.
Right. Well, and on top of that, you already lost Breeze. Like, that was your boy. It's over. Like,
right.
I don't think it's over because of Breeze, but I do feel like if they're that far over the cap, like, they're not going to be left with anything.
No.
He's going to be coaching practice squad, and you don't want to watch Hall of Fame talent coach a practice squad.
Right.
So,
I think that sums it up right there.
I would be curious to see where he goes, though.
What do you mean? If he stays in the league?
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see, like, if he's going to continue coaching, where
if he continues coaching,
where he would go. I'm just curious about what is, what he wants to.
Accepts him has to swap the compensation for the 3 years he has left on his contract.
I mean, with a coach of that magnitude, I don't know. Somebody may be right.
Now,
but I'm not for sure.
Now listen, now you want to say something? That would be a team I would like, coach. I would like the Raiders to have, because the Raiders would feel comfortable with giving him the keys to being like, "I'll take over from here." They're not.
We know that they will spend that money.
I think
they will spend that money too.
I think he ends up going like the Cowher route and ends up on CBS or ESPN.
Do we want to see him on CBS?
A lot of them are making a lot more money than coaching.
Right.
Yeah.
Without the pressure.
Right. You never know.
Just get on.
Just read that teleprompter there
as well.
I don't know. That's crazy. I never even pictured him in that that type of role. But I mean, you just never know. Like, I think I don't know. We'll see.
He's knowledgeable. You can tell. I mean, I don't know what his social.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't even see him like being that guy like on TV. Like, I don't know. Again, it would just be a new vision.
Yeah, I think he's recognizable enough is the thing. Like, he's been around the league long. I mean, trust me, I didn't expect to see fucking Bill Cowher on TV either. Like, putting him on TV. If you're going to put him on TV, you might as well put Peyton on TV. Like
on Bill Cowher, though.
But isn't Bill Cowher very like to me? He's interesting. Like he's kind of like I don't know. He just like I don't know. He's very likable in a sense. I feel like
he didn't have that tooth. He was spitting on everybody. So now he got that tooth fixed, and he's all that on CBS now. You know what I mean? He ain't spitting on nobody like he was.
You're wrong.
I couldn't help that. I had to go there.
Y'all crazy, man.
Yeah.
Who's y'all hit the showers? Who he got hitting them this evening?
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and start my hit the showers off today. It goes once again to the Miami Dolphins organization for getting rid of my man Brian Flores. You know, it was messed up from the jump, but you know, y'all let go of a good man. So
how you know he a good man?
How y'all hit the shower?
He mean a good coach.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A good coach, my man.
Nah, he already said he was a good man.
He may be a good man
too. He's a good man.
He could be. We don't know nothing about him.
Right. That's my dog though. Brian Flores.
Who you got, Mark? You got one prepared?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Aaron Rodgers, man, just because like I said, his playoff track record hasn't been the best. Hasn't been to the Super Bowl in a while. He hasn't been clutch in the playoffs like he should. You know, he's an MVP caliber quarterback, but he hasn't been getting it done. So
I mean, he's in the Peyton Manning camp.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I'm gonna switch gears with my hit the showers. It was something I kind of brought up to you guys in the chat yesterday, I think, and I was just basically talking about like the Baseball Hall of Fame. Okay. So I kind of feel like my hit the showers is the Hall of Fame for not letting Barry Bonds in, and I had to go back and like look and see why they didn't let him in like seriously. Of course it was the whole Peds thing, but then I had to like look and see like what was going on for the time, and apparently it looks like that was like the norm for his era,
right?
To kind of be on the Peds of some form or fashion. And then I factor that in with my feelings of, if I did all the steroids in the world right now, that's still not going to make. I don't think that certain aspects of your game it will enhance in the form of like
coordination,
hand-eye coordination,
right,
and your ability to necessarily play the game at that particular level.
Right.
So with that being said, and then the other factor that I felt was like, you got to go by from the point where you guys felt like he started testing positive. What had he accomplished
beforehand?
Right. Beforehand. And I still feel like he deserved to get in. And what I really didn't like was that this was his 10th year, correct?
But that just means he wasn't caught. That doesn't mean he wasn't juicing the whole time. Like,
so my thing is this: if he wasn't caught, the testing changed at that point. So if he wasn't caught before then how many players weren't caught?
No, but the problem
is
that, and I'm with you. And at the same time, if they ever choose to induct him, they need to induct Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa too.
No,
they're held out.
And Pete Rose.
And here's my thing: I'm not against them being in there if this was the norm for what was going on for their time. And from what I understand, this was the norm for his time. I don't think this was somebody that was doing something in that particular community that wasn't considered normal.
If I agree with you, if you're inducting others that were in the same era who had also tested positive.
No,
it's an all or nothing situation there.
But again, we live in a weird world to me. It's right now, in my opinion, where, you have all these rules and these things that people want you to forget somebody's greatness because of this or that. You know what I'm saying? If 80% of the people in the MLB were doing the same particular drug as him, why should I have to forget? Why should it not be in the record books what this man did? Well, see, and then again, if he didn't test positive to a certain point, if you didn't start testing for certain things until a certain point, and you have no proof beyond that, what was happening before that point, why can't he get recognition for the things that happened before that point? If you stop his career right then and there, he's still a Hall of Famer.
I mean, I understand all of that, right? And I agree with it wholeheartedly, but at the end of the day, like Mike said, it'd be different if they was letting them in as well. And what it comes down to is professionalism. You know what I mean? You know when you're gonna, around the time they're gonna start testing. You got a whole off season to cycle on, cycle off, do whatever the fuck you need to do to where you feel like you're able to compete with the best. But to get caught during the season shows a lack of professionalism, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that that means that at that point you shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, but when you look at all the people with all the other statistics that haven't gotten caught, it makes it a little harder of a toe for me to get you there.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me say this though, because again, we had this discussion last week, I think.
With the Odell Beckham situation.
Yeah, well, yeah, with the Odell Beckham situation, and I feel like with that error and with the way that how fast things were changing as far as like how people were trying to like build their bodies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. Like he may not have
you
even
talking about
known
the supplement specifically.
Yeah, you may not even known what you were putting in your body. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be like, you can just be thinking in your head, especially in that era, like, all right, there's traditional steroids,
possible.
Right?
That is possible.
So then if I think I'm taking something like, hey, this is going to make you stronger, it's not considered it's not your typical roid that you're shooting into your butt type deal. Like,
that's definitely possible.
To me, there's just a lot of options there, or a lot of possibilities as far as like what could have been going on, because whatever is on the list may not, and you're only thinking about it a certain way, like a drug only coming a certain way. Like, he could have been taking it in a different form. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm gonna tell you why that's possible is because when Sammy Sosa became famous for saying, all I take is Flintstone vitamins. You remember that? When they accused him. And what Britt is talking about, we had a conversation last week, just to wrap it up real quick. A lot of the times that people get hit for PEDs, it's not like what you think, like injection. It comes from the list, list of things, and a lot of it, like
what you're putting into your body,
right? And I had a you are right, but I had a conversation last week with where I had a fighter when I used to work at GNC that came in. And we had to read off the ingredients on all the packs to make sure. And that opened my eyes to let me know, oh, it's not just bullshit. It's anything.
And I'm not
Sammy
opposed,
may not have known.
I'm not opposed to them getting in. I am saying it's an all or nothing situation. And as long as it's a consistent decision.
Yeah, and I'm not against other people getting in. I just feel like like I said, I just feel like certain things they're a factor, but they're not all factor as far as this person's greatness, and not letting them get into that mark, because I honestly feel like a lot of the people that you guys named, if not all, deserve to be in there, because again, they weren't the only ones taking these drugs. So if this average player was taking this drug and they were taking this drug, they still outperformed those average players. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like,
and you didn't, like you said, hand-eye coordination, all that's all a factor. That doesn't.
And no offense to the MLB, but you know, they could have probably been pushing for these players to take these unknown substances too, because what's exciting about a game in the MLB? home runs.
What now?
So now my thing is the more home runs we getting in a season, the more exciting the fans are going to be, et cetera, et cetera. I remember that whole ordeal back in the late 90s with Sammy Sosa and who's the other guy? McGuire. Yeah, like I remember that whole ordeal and how crazy people were going over them hitting home runs in a game. So listen, I just feel like let these people in as far as their talent goes, because even though they may have done something that they shouldn't have, I still feel like it played a role. I'm not taking that away, but at the end of the day, their talent still was a major factor in them achieving what they achieved.
I agree. What about you, Coach Mike Reggie? Who's hitting?
I hit the showers goes to all of the bandwagon
my bad.
Who are
bandwagon Bengal fans? He's hitting shots, Rick.
In the last 3 weeks. Hit the
There's only one. There's only one of us, and I'm right here. And I'll hit the showers.
Oh no,
with all
I know
the Bengals players. Yes, I would love to go in the showers with them.
I know it's not just you though.
But your legs hurt though, Brick. Your legs hurt.
No, they ain't gonna hurt. Not in the showers. They ain't gonna
Michael
hurt.
Reggie's expression is priceless right now.
Listen, my hit the showers may be I doubt it. It ain't. I ain't gonna even present it like that.
Mike, you should have told hit the shower should have been the NFL because you guys don't like their overtime rules. That should have been your
trust me, that was the other one, but I wanted to go after you instead. So
okay, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yes. I appreciate it.
My hit the showers is going to Stephen A. Smith.
Damn, what?
What? Him and Kyrie or what? Who is it? What did he do this week?
I'm giving it to him because he did the Kobe tribute.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody on his ass because he used the Kobe tribute to tear down the players like the Kyries, Kawhis, and all them.
I can see. I didn't watch it, but I can see him now.
Right.
Kobe would have got the vaccine.
Right.
He would have been vaccinated for his team. He would have been there for the Lakers.
Well,
you sound just fucking like him. Listen, you sound just fucking like him. Listen,
no, he should not use that man's name in that particular way. Not even knowing what not even knowing what Kobe would have done. Now, I do feel like Kobe would have got the vaccine, but I don't feel like you can say that for sure. So you shouldn't even go down that road.
I depend on what year Kobe getting the vaccine.
I think Kobe would have done. I think I can see him getting the vaccine because Kobe was very by the book. So I could definitely see him getting the vaccine without a problem. But again, that's not even for anybody to try to guess. You don't even really know for sure.
Right.
He definitely wouldn't.
Especially the stigma that they putting on motherfuckers, whether they do or they don't anyway. So yeah, that's it. Leave that alone.
For sure.
But Stephen A. Smith, you're a dickhead. I didn't read all the way into it, but I saw the comments.
I feel like Stephen A. kind of been on one these past couple of weeks. I just feel like he's kind of rubbing people of color the wrong way.
That's his brand, though.
Right. Yeah, nah. He's taking Tommy Lauren at ESPN.
He's taking it to another level.
Brian Gumble.
Yeah, no, don't even bring Brian Gumble to his level because I don't even. Brian Gumble was proper, but Brian Gumble wasn't I'm about to take a stance against this, against that. I feel like Stephen A. in the last month is just really pushing his limits on his strong stances against certain people.
That's a good way to put it. And your head's just shaped like a dick. So hit the showers.
Okay. Okay. Dickhead.
No, that's a dickhead, right? You're a dickhead and your head shaped like a dick. And it's uncircled.
I don't know, Stephen A.
And that motherfucker uncircled because your hairline's receding.
What?
Damn.
Now we're talking about an uncircumcised? What?
Yes.
What's going on here?
You know how this motherfucker comes straight to a point. His head comes straight to
I don't mess with uncircumcised. I don't.
Listen.
I can't even get into it. I'm sorry. I don't do uncircumcised. So.
You said what?
I said, what if Burroughs is uncut?
Yeah. Macaulay Culkin.
That's not even an issue of mine. I have no intentions on sleeping with Burrow. But
Didn't you just talk about getting into the showers with the entire Bengals locker room?
Yeah, that doesn't mean I'm sleeping with them. That doesn't mean I'm sleeping with them though.
You just in the shower.
Trust me, if I'm in the shower with the whole team, I'm gonna pick the ones I like. I'm not going for the
according to that,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, give me that uncircumcised penis. Like that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going for the ones I like.
Her idea sounds like something you probably found on your dark pages that you talked about on Do Fools Agree, your dark side, your dark.
Hey, you gotta leave him alone, please.
Look, the football.
Well,
you said the football team.
Does anybody have anything to take us out?
Cliff, good luck on your future endeavor with the pillow fighting that may become a professional sport that I sent you earlier.
Oh,
good luck in the Raiders.
Especially if they. I ain't gonna say that.
Listen.
I
got a question. I got a question to take us out.
Especially
because I brought
if it's
this up
a co-ed league. No, I'm just
oh shit.
What you got,
That
Brett?
might be something.
I got a question to take us out. Because I brought this up earlier. I just wanna see what you guys think. I don't want it to be, just short and sweet. Is there anything to make you switch teams? Like, is there anything that your team can do to make you switch teams, or are you guys just gonna ride with loyalty? Like, if you're a Raiders fan, if 10 years from now you guys are in the same boat, no progress, like, are you still gonna be a Raiders fan? And that goes for
No.
Yes.
To very simply answer that question, no, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be a Raiders fan.
Thank you.
But I wouldn't be a fan of anyone else either at that point. I would.
So you would just be like, I'm not going to be a fan
I'm
of
Sean Payton, baby. I'm taking a leave of absence. I still got years on my contract, right? I'm not saying that I'm going to coach for any other team. I'm just saying I need a fucking break. You feel what I'm saying?
No, I understand taking a break, but can we look at this like you look at relationships that you're like a relationship that you're in? Like, you're in a relationship, it doesn't work out, you need a little break, but does that mean you should stop dating forever?
No, not at all. Not at all.
So that's my whole. That
means I'm not getting married again. I'll tell you that.
I mean, it shouldn't factor in like that.
That's how I try to look at my relationships, though. Like that's how I try to look at my sports relationship.
But I'm not switching until I know for sure.
But I'm just saying, at what point do you know? Like, for me, I feel like I've been a Browns fan long enough to know, like, it's not going in the direction that I needed to go in.
You know what? I hope,
so I'm just saying, like,
I hope that you concrete your decision as far as being a Bengals fan. And next year, I hope Baker gets a fluky ass Super Bowl win.
Right.
Just so I can be like,
yep.
No, I would not even, like, it's not even, it doesn't even sound
I always
possible.
say the grass is always greener until the seasons change. And football seasons are a lot different than the ones we see on the dirt. It's going to be tough.
But it will not be tough for me. Once I make a decision, again, I will go back to being a Browns fan when they get rid of Baker as their starting quarterback.
Could be happening soon.
So Baker takes them to 12
It could be happening soon.
He's going to come
Baker's
back
not
from
taking them
surgery
anywhere.
like that little Hispanic boy from Rookie of the Year.
We've seen what Baker does.
And he's going to be slinging them bitches.
Yeah. He gets that shoulder, so it's over with.
He already did it. He already got his surgery.
Right.
But
he's coming back.
We see what Baker did. Like, we see what a quarterback. I ain't gonna just blame Baker. We see what a quarterback does when they don't have the ability. We literally had chalked Odell Beckham Jr. up for dead.
Who did? Y'all did.
We did.
I didn't.
No, everybody did.
Oh, I did. Back. I didn't.
Everybody did. We said put a fork in him. He's done. The guy is out there timid. He looks scared. He's done. We all did.
I wasn't included on that.
Okay, when we were talking about him, you definitely weren't advocating for him either.
I'm gonna send you the clips. I'm gonna clip that out. That's what's
send me the clips.
I'm gonna start clipping.
Nobody.
No, hold on, real quick. Cliff was advocating for him because he kept saying everybody need to get off Odell's dick. He was advocating.
No, he was not.
Listen,
nobody really advocated.
I got it in paper. I got all of that in paper, so I can look clips. Up and see.
Send me the clips. Nobody was really advocating for him. Like, we really thought he was dead.
You crazy?
We really did. We did.
No,
when he was with the Browns. Man, listen, I'm not saying that you said anything in particular. I'm saying that when it was brought up that OBJ was dead, like, nobody was saying like he wasn't. Like, he's still good. Nobody was saying that.
Your bullets have no name, Escobar.
I'm just saying that's my point. No, that's my point. Nobody was advocating for him when the point was brought up that he was pretty much finished.
Shower heads out there, don't listen to what you hear. Go by what you hear. Go by what you hear. Especially don't look up or listen to what you hear from a motherfucker switching sides. All right.
Jump the bandwagon.
Hell to the no. Listen, don't listen to a nigga that stays in a toxic situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't listen to him. You know what I'm saying? Wife beating their ass. Don't listen to anybody in a toxic situation that cannot get out of the relationship.
I agree. I agree with that too.
Cliff is in a toxic relationship with Derek Carr right now. And he refuses to see that. He refuses to see that man for what he is.
No, I see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking, like, why the fuck you allowing it?
Yeah.
Like, subscribe.
Get out, Cliff.
All that. Be back on Saturday.
Be back. Don't listen to nothing he say about Saturday. If we back on Saturday, I might fuck around, be by my goddamn self.
I was on last Saturday. Don't try to play me. I got good attendance.
First Saturday, and how many Saturdays?
Hey, the Saturday 2 weeks before that one, when you told me it was
3 Saturdays.
Well, hey, who's counting?
You missed. I am, motherfucker. So like, subscribe, share. You may catch me on Saturday. Until next time, my shower heads, we out this.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
Go Bengals gang.
Woo-wee. Okay.
Oh shit.
What signs Bengals gang got?
Right.
I feel like that should be our sign.